Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, two of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune in to the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder.
Welcome into Woodward Nights, baby!
Let's go, Booner!
Victory Friday, baby! The Detroit Lions boys are 3-1, and it is Victory Friday. We're having a victory day for the second time this week. The Detroit Lions are the kings of the NFC North. They are on their way to being one of the best teams in the NFC. Dan Campbell, dude. Amon-Ra St. Brown, dude. Aiden Hutchinson, dude. Brad Holmes, dude. Sheila Ham, the GOAT! Let's go, baby! Victory Friday. Appreciate you guys all tuning in to Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. My name is Booner, as always. Broder, we've got Lucas in the TD booth today. We've got a little audible here. Appreciate you filling in.
Been here for all day, man.
Well, besides the first hour of Woodward morning show. We won't talk about that, though. But positive vibes today. And we got Nick in the sound booth, as always.
Friday, baby. Let's go.
Hey, I'm going to throw it out there real quick. It is Nick's birthday tomorrow. So everyone, happy birthdays in the chat.
Let's go. Shout out chat. Woodward Nights, baby. Victory Friday.
32 tomorrow. 32
41.
Have a week, dude.
Yeah.
Have a week.
Appreciate it, fellas. Let's go.
Boys, I want to start something off real quick.
Let it fly.
I look like I have a crazy fit on. But let's talk about what's really going on. Let's talk about what's really going on in the NFL right now, fellas. Listen, the Detroit Lions won on Sunday. They beat the Atlanta Falcons. Done. That check. That's the first thing. And I know Lucas talked about this might be the best week in Detroit Lions history for a fan. Right after that, guess what? We go into Lambeau Field. We make it Ford Field. We take it over. One Pride completely took over Lambeau Field. And guess what happens the next day? The NFL, they took their head out of their you-know-what, and they freed J-Mo, baby! J-Mo, free! Let's go, baby. The Detroit Lions are back, right on track, right on schedule where we thought they were going to be. Look at that. Jamison Williams. Just beautiful, Broder. Beautiful, Broder. I can't believe what happened with the news that I got today. That was unbelievable.
Literally the most unexpected news that we could get on this Victory Friday. We were already so excited, and all of a sudden in the afternoon, this news breaks
out of nowhere, and it started to break at first, fellas, and I didn't know what to do. I was texting the social chat like, should we post it? Should we post this? Because there was just like random accounts putting it out. Mm-hmm. When those big accounts start and the beat reporters in the city start tweeting it out, you know it's real. Once you see Broder, you get the text from Broder like, yep, confirmed. That's when you know.
Not Tom Pelissero.
Yeah. I'm not going to name any other. I'm not going to name any local beat reporters either, because we've got our own on this show here. I might have just
amazing news.
I might have just lost my voice again.
No disrespect.
I lost it last night, gained it back in 24 hours, and I just went off.
Well, if there's one thing I know about you, Booner, you're a gamer, and you're gonna keep it together for the show. It's gonna be epic.
We're gonna get through this, boys.
Absolutely epic. But dude, that J-Mo news, it couldn't come at a better time either. Like, we were expecting him back for the Baltimore Ravens game, Week 7. All of a sudden, we got 10 days off. We're riding high after a victory at Lambeau against the Packers. We got the Panthers coming up.
Yes.
A game we should win. I'm not going to get too ahead of myself, but J-Mo should get some work in there.
Do you know what really makes me excited about this, too, coming out now? And I know it's disgusting from the NFL that they waited until after he was 4 games in to say, hey, this is only a 2-game suspension. You can't give a dude 2 games back in his career. Give him his money back for those 2 games, but you can't give him 2 games back in the season that we're supposed to be having right now. But on top of this, let's look at the positives, people. Jamison Williams was going to be back Week 7. You know when he was going to come back, it was going to be a gradual work-in, right? It was going to be a slow work-in. Now, You get him week 5, and that's slow working. Now by week 7, that man is ready to go in the offense. He is right on. He is right involved in that offense. It might take a week or two. And I don't want to see anyone come up here on the desk. I don't want to see anyone at Woodward. I don't want to see any other people outside of in the media if he doesn't go off game 1 and game 2. I don't want to hear anyone in the chat. Nothing. No slander. Let that man come back, get into the season, and work his way back into this offense, because he's coming into an offense that's already a top 6 offense in the NFL. Think about that.
It's just going to get better, dude.
It will.
I mean, there's people in the NFL that are fast, and then there's Jameson Williams. I mean, he's in the Tyreek Hill category. He's in one of the fastest guys in the entire league. What he can do for this offense that's already firing on almost all cylinders.
He changes the game completely for this Lions team, because right now, what's one thing that we really didn't have that some team, like you said, Tyreek has?
Explosive.
The explosions.
West Coast shit.
Fireworks. All of that. The Detroit Lions, Jahmyr Gibbs was going to be that guy, but obviously, like, we haven't seen that.
I can't wait to talk about Jahmyr Gibbs.
Me too. Jameson Williams is another level of explosive. We don't have that on the team right now. Amon-Ra, we all know, like, as good as he is, top 10 player in the wide receiver in the NFL, he's just not that explosive. The Jameson Williams. It's different, dude. You can catch a slant and he'll go run for a touchdown. Look at last year what happened. He had 4 or 5 touches, and almost everyone went to the house.
Facts.
Or close to it.
Facts.
So he's about to. I'm excited just to add that to an offense that's already buzzing. We're back, baby.
We're back.
We are fully back.
And he's one of the few people also in the NFL that can transform a game, that can alter an entire defensive game plan just by being on the field without even catching a ball. He can have a profound impact on a game. I can't wait. I can't wait for everyone to get out there and see him more. I know there were a couple drop passes in preseason. It's not like he had the most amazing training camp, but this kid is special. And we've got him. We got him for 3.5 more years. Like, we got to rally around J-Mo now. Like, there's nothing to be negative about. Let's go. Let's get him back. Let's get him full speed.
Yeah,
and let's go.
It feels good, too, because you're coming on a Victory Friday. How often do we get victory, like a Victory Monday and a Victory Friday in 1 week?
I don't know if
unbelievable. It's one of the best things ever.
I bet it's been years, decades even.
Well, I guess if you think about it, yeah, it has probably.
Maybe a Thanksgiving game here, boys.
Maybe they went back to back. But it can't be many. I mean, you have to win 2 games in a row, and the Lions haven't done that in a while.
It'll happen this year, though. But we're going to get into the show here. I know we had to start with the J-Mo stuff.
Had to.
That J-Mo news, Victory Friday. I don't know if I should keep these glasses on all day, fellas. I kind of like it.
You got to keep them for a little longer. They look too good on you, dude.
I know. I want to bring something up, though, real quick. Actually, I don't know if I put it in the Slack, so I'm not going to bring that up. I don't want to do that. But let's kind of get into this Lambeau Field thing, because this was one of the best things, I think, out of the weekend coming out of yesterday was the Detroit Lions fans showed up, showed out, and they were loud at Lambeau. We saw it last year in prime time to end the season, and it felt like last night was even more. I don't know how you guys felt about that, but it just felt like there was even more people. And the best part of it all was after the game when Amon-Ra St. Brown was running around. And Lucas, did you have that video there? The one where he just flips off, or he kisses, guy's flipping him off and he just kisses. Best video of all time, I think.
Dude, that's so epic, and it's all Lions fans.
It is, and there's just that one Packers fan.
You just got Amon-Ra St. Clown.
Dude, it's so epic. Just to see the fans show out, see that stadium. There were beat writers from both the Lions and the Packers that were sending pictures out, and you could just see the entire stadium was flooded with blue. And Lambeau's a place, it's not easy to get tickets if you're a Lions fan. I don't know how it happened, but the Lions, their fan base is turning into one of those that are among the elites of the entire NFL.
It seems to happen every single week that these Lions fans find a way to get there, and it's anywhere. Remember Kansas City after the game, the look of that, it's insane. And now I'm starting to think like when we go to Chicago, it's going to be the same way. L.A., Baltimore, I feel like these are all going to just be Lions fans. And you know what, actually, and I just actually thought of this just now, and this was going to be one of my statements today. I'll say it now. The Detroit Lions are officially America's team. They are officially America's team.
America!
And D-Mac and I think Stick last night mentioned on the stream, they said, when does it get to a point to where national media and people start to hate the Lions? I don't think it's going to be for a little bit a while, because right now this wave is insane. I think there's going to be a lot of people in different states who are going to be at these games wearing Honolulu blue because they're America's football team now.
And there's something so likable about this team, from Dan Campbell down to the players. It's Sheila Hamp as the owner. There's so much to like about this team, even if we're a little ordinary, even if they're a little arrogant. Like that's part of this new culture. It includes the fans too. And you were talking about how they're going to be traveling. One thing about this schedule, there's only one West Coast game that the Lions go on, and it's after a bye week out to play the LA Chargers. The rest of the games are all in the Midwest or at home.
And
the
that
schedule.
That makes me, I still feel like there's going to be a ton of Lions fans out there.
Oh, yeah.
At SoFi.
Yeah.
I mean, Chargers fans are fair weather as it gets, too.
Exactly. Yeah, because I'm with Luke. I really do think that you're going to see a ton of Honolulu blue there.
I think so, too.
50%.
It's close to
Lucas
Honolulu.
said a stat on the heavyweights earlier today that it was like 47% Lions fans at Lambeau.
Seriously?
That is
47?
Incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Boys, I already saw it in the chat. They're going crazy. A couple people going down to Tampa. I'll be going with a group of like 30. You know Tampa's going to be going crazy. It's going to be Honolulu blue in that Red Sea down there.
Buccaneers, they've won the NFC North before, more recently than the Lions. So that's another reason, another state, a manufactured statement game, we'll say.
But what we're gonna do for the show here before we kind of really get rolling. Quick rundown here. I want to make sure you guys know what we're doing because we have something new we're gonna try out on the show. I know we probably have a lot of new people watching, but since we're the night show, we're gonna start doing more callers throughout the night.
Mm-hmm.
We want to hear some people at nighttime. If you're driving home, if you're at home, whatever it is, want to make sure we open the lines for we want to start hearing the people.
Oh, dear, I would love to.
The Lions are starting to get, they're starting to make some noise, and I would start to love these next couple weeks to hear what the people think. But at 8:15, we're going to talk about the state of the Detroit Lions. I'm pretty passionate about that. The last few weeks, I've gone at the same old Lions fans. We're going to get right back into that after this big win. 8:30, Kings of the North, of the NFC North, talk about that. 8:45, we're going to talk about the offense. 9 o'clock, defense. 9:15, we're going to break down the schedule going ahead. Can the Detroit Lions get a winning streak going here?
Hey, don't forget, the professors are out tonight. Booner, you and I are putting on our glasses, our sweaters. We're handing out some grades.
We are doing grades for the offense and the defense, and I struggle with that. I don't know.
It's difficult.
Yeah, dude, I failed school, so I don't. I don't know, man. I wanted to give everyone an A. That's how I wanted school to be. So I looked at every single position group, and I was like, A.
Hey, it's like you're from Canada.
Hey, yeah. But real quick, I'm gonna tell you guys about this Detroit Lions Insider Show. I don't know why I said Lions twice there, but for all the insider scoop of the Detroit Lions, it's Woodward in Maine, featuring Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Detroit legend up there. Look, he looks cool in the back there. Terry Foster, Tuesdays from 7 to 8 a.m. and Sundays 8 to 9 a.m. They will not be this Sunday, correct, Broder?
Correct. We're going to go Tuesday.
Sunday. So it'll be Tuesday this Sunday, 7 to 8 a.m. Tune in for all the insider information that you need, injuries, breakdown of the game, what's going to be happening coming up, different things like that. Make sure you turn on the Woodward Sports Network.
7 o'clock on the dot.
Yes.
Dude, I know we're about to take a break and go into the next segment, but it was a good Thursday night football game, right?
It was.
I mean, I know the Lions they dominated the first half, but there was a lot of excitement. There was a lot of maybe it was more fun for Lions fans, but I think with some of the horrible Thursday night football games that have been going on and the schedule upcoming, a lot of Bears highlighted on Thursday. We got the Commanders, the Broncos. We got some jokes coming up in the next couple weeks. I thought it was a pretty exciting game. There weren't a ton of injuries, except for Brian Branch, who it looks to be a minor injury. There was a lot of points. There was good defense. There was excitement in the crowd. It was fun. It was fun to watch.
Yeah, and to be honest, I want to just throw this out there. We did our score predictions. Brandon was really close, and what did he say? 34-21.
Yeah, 34, 35, 21.
I think it was 34-21, and my score prediction that I said on the show on Wednesday night.
What'd you say?
31-20. And I said,
wow.
I said the the Detroit Lions will get off to a really hot start. They're going to take a big lead. I have the clip too. We won't play it, but they're going to take a big lead. They're going to get off to a hot start, and then in the second half, it's going to kind of come back together a little bit. But we're going to feel comfortable all game, and that's exactly how it felt. The Detroit Lions comfortable. They dominated on the road. People could say how bad the Packers are. All of us in this room can agree. In the NFL, when you go play on the road, whatever team it is, ask the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Go ask the Dallas Cowboys. It's tough to win on the road in the NFL. And they're 2-0 on the road, and they've won at Lambeau Field and at Arrowhead. two tough
Arguably
spots
the
to play.
two of the hardest places to play.
So you have to give them their credit there, and it's. I'm excited to break this stuff down. Oh, and I forgot this to start the show. You guys remember back in the day when the 0-16 and he's like, everyone was putting these trash bags on their head or these cans? Listen. Done with it.
Tear it up.
That's gone in the past. SOL done. We'll talk about that coming up next.
Tell them about Academy of Warren.
At Academy of Warren, they have a brand new state-of-the-art sports dome field house that has a regulation basketball court, volleyball court, and soccer field. Also can be used for 7-on-7 football. K through 8 that features AM and PM latchkey, small classroom sizes, learning street, futuristic media center, free breakfast and lunch, Houghton Mifflin curriculum, academic games, and K through 8 athletics. They are now accepting new enrollment. Go to theacademyofwarren.net.
Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions show. Let's go! Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
All right, Outdoor Equipment Company, the official equipment provider of Woodward Sports, Michigan-grown, family-owned bad boy mowers, tractors, style handhelds, and even weed whippers, Liberty trailers, generic generators, and Snow X plows and salters. Listen, Outdoor Equipment Company has it all, just like this Detroit Lions team. Buy it, rent it, 0% financing, delivery right to your doorstep. That is at OutdoorEquipCo.com.
Outdoor Equipco.
Listen! The Detroit Lions are here to stay. They're not messing around. They're the Kings of the North, contenders. Let's
Great
go,
lighting.
drinking the Kool-Aid again.
Oh, yeah.
I can't talk here.
Let's go!
All right. Welcome back to Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. And
Animal.
listen, I'm not going to lie, when I did that there, if you guys slow the video down and you really look at it, I almost drowned in myself. I sent a screenshot to Ryan in the back there,
Listen!
and there was just Kool-Aid coming
Detroit
out of my
Lions
nose because it just
are
all
here to
went up my
stay.
nose. It was
They're not
so
messing
bad.
around. They're the Kings of the North.
Look
Here
at
it is
that.
again. They're showing it again.
Let's see if you guys can see it
Drinking the
just
Kool-Aid
all just flow out of my nose.
Great lighting out of the cameraman.
Wait for it. Watch it I almost died.
Let's go!
I almost died out.
Face right there.
You know what though? And if anyone in the chat can agree with me on this, if I died there, I died after a Detroit Lions win at Lambeau versus Green Bay in primetime, and I died on Woodward.
What would you be dying from?
I almost just Kool-Aid boarded myself, man.
Kool-Aid board.
That was crazy. But to that video's point there, we're getting right into it, boys. And make sure if you guys are tuning in, hit that like button, please. Tell a friend to tune in. We appreciate you guys all tuning in. We do this every single night, 8 to 10, we're here. So if you guys are here for the first time, we're here every night, 8 to 10, doing the same thing, talking Detroit Lions, talking about Detroit sports, all of that. But we're going to, Broder,
Booner.
the state of the Detroit Lions.
State of the Lions.
We did this on Monday after the Sunday game because last week there was a lot of fools out there who tried to come at me
Fools.
after the Seahawks lost, trying to come at me. Oh, Booner, same old Lions, same old Lions.
Let me talk to you.
Let me talk to you real quick. The same old Lions is dead. If I ever hear that again, just like last week when I had to sit everyone down in a chair and look them dead in the eyes and say, listen, calm down. They lost one football game. You're in the NFL. You lost a game to a playoff team. Now look where we're at. We're sitting here 3-1 just a week later, and the Detroit Lions are one of the best teams in the NFC.
Yeah.
And 10 days ago, there was a lot of fans out there who hopped off the bandwagon saying, oh, this season's over. Season's over. Now look where we're at. Broder?
You told him, Booner. You took the words right from Kirby Joseph's son. You said relax.
Relax.
That's Aaron Rodgers. It's one of his go-tos, the discount double check. But, dude, it's a brand new team. Like it's 100% the brand new Lions. It's a brand new city. Something feels different. There's something in the water. There's something in the Honolulu Blue Kool-Aid that has this team operating different and has this fan base behind them in a new way. It was so much fun. These last 5 days have been glorious. Gassy and aggressive. They've been glorious.
I wonder how some of these fans that last Monday after the Seahawks got, I should have taken receipts. I'm going to start doing that. I've been taking some receipts of some people, Catspot, and I have a little file on my phone for people like that who want to come out and go, oh, SOL, and they hop off the bandwagon, and then 3 weeks later they're like, oh, no, we're great again. You have to be level-headed here when you know what I mean, when you're talking about this stuff, because you're going to lose. And the thing is we're going to celebrate today.
Yeah.
Detroit Lions celebrate. It's a celebration for the next couple of days. But at the end of the day, there's going to be weeks where the Detroit Lions lose football games, and we're going to have to sit up here and break it down and go at them a little bit. Just like the situation with Jerry Jacobs that one week. He had a bad week versus Seahawks. And I came up here and even said he needs to step up. Didn't go at him and say some people are like, oh, you should cut him. But, hey, step up. And I'm sure he thought the same way. I'm sure Dan Campbell said
the same thing. He said after that game, he came out and said, I did not play good.
It's just realistic. That's the point. Like, fans and Lions fans, you have to understand is just because you lose a game or something doesn't go your way, it's not SOL. And in this regime with Sheila and Dan and Brad, it's not that anymore. And SOL used to be a thing where it was just the ownership, the executives, the people running the place, and they cleaned house and changed it. It doesn't matter. You don't have to go win a playoff game or win this to go prove it. It's about the vibe. It's about what the team is. It's about the culture. That's what SOL is. It has nothing to do with going out there and winning a Super Bowl. So the people are like, you have to win a Super Bowl to get it. No, it's about the culture and about what the franchise is right now.
There's no stat. There's no statistic that shows SOL is dead. Brand new Lions are here. It's a feeling. That's why it's kind of hard to. That's why it's easy to argue. It's hard to explain because it's something you see and feel. It's not tangible, but it's definitely there for that for that team. Like you just said, in the past, a game like that out of Jerry Jacobs, he wouldn't come back and get 2 interceptions on primetime football against Jordan Love. They would lose this game on 4 days rest. But this team, to me, it seems like this team's defined by their resilience. Yeah. Like every time something seems to go wrong, same old Lions. Every time you start to think that, they're coming back and they're making plays, from Jared Goff throwing interceptions and always coming back the next play to score a touchdown, to Jerry Jacobs improving each and every week, holding himself accountable, hearing the fans, coming back and getting 2 interceptions on primetime. It's incredible. It's incredible. This is now twice now that the Lions have showed out on primetime football with the entire nation watching.
Exactly.
Twice.
And to the Jerry Jacobs point, too, and it's not just Jerry Jacobs, it's this whole team. It's the fact that and shout out Jerry Jacobs, too. He comments on it. He reaches out to us. Yeah, he knows Woodward sports. So if you're watching Jerry, I respect the hell out of what Jerry did this week, because last week he had a bad game and he stepped up. He knew it. People came up here on this desk and said, hey, step up. And he came out and did that. And I respect people more for doing that than in the past SOL, where people would be like, oh, I don't like this, is terrible. I don't want this. Like, oh, I'm just bad. I want to go to a different team. I don't want to. And no, Jerry, the culture, Jerry's like, no, we're going back out there. And Dan said it about him and was like, he came into work. And it's every single one of those players. But Isaiah Buggs, he could have just said, no, screw this after the first 2 weeks. He stepped back up. The culture pulled him right back in, a little sink line, whatever it is, and pulled him right back in. And he was like, you know what? No. I love this place. I love this culture. They've set something here, and it's different. And he came back in, and he had a huge sack yesterday.
He made a difference on that defense, without a doubt.
And it's all those guys. Everyone's doing that. And that's where you flip that turn where the SOL goes to brand new Lions. Because of that. Because you're able to bounce back. Brand new Lions is 11-3 in their last 15 games.
Yeah.
14.
6 of 7 on the road?
Yes. That's like brand new Lions. They started 1-6 last year, overcame adversity, and they've been 11-3 since.
I guarantee that made them better this season.
Yes, that is the difference between same old Lions and brand new. That is a huge difference. And it's time to kind of flip that switch that turn. And if we sit up here and say this, and then in the next 2 or 3 weeks they lose a game, that doesn't mean I'm wrong. It doesn't mean Broder's wrong. It's just realistic.
And to go back to Jerry Jacobs just real quick, what was everyone talking about this week? Really the last week and a half leading up to this game. Not just Jerry Jacobs' a less than ideal play. It's been Emmanuel Mosley. They got this new cornerback coming back to save the day. Jerry Jacobs could have easily curled up and hit in a corner, but no. He went out and he got 2 interceptions on primetime football. I'll say it again.
Yeah, and it makes that. And you know what another part of this game was? You boys probably agree with me on this. Is in that third quarter, I sat right there on the stream, sitting right next to Lucas, and I looked Lucas dead in the eyes, and I was like,
Watch
yourself. I'm a little nervous. And he as well was like, yeah, what happens here? Because they got it within 2 possessions, a 10-point game, about to be the fourth quarter. And I even said it on the stream. I was like, do you guys remember last week the Saints were up 17 in the fourth quarter? And I was like, we have to like this team has to lock in. This is where you find out if it's a real team or if they're a team that, you know, is going to be in the middle, make the playoffs, maybe lose the first round, this, that. Or if you're going to find out this is a team that, in adversity, on the road, fourth quarter, are they going to be a second-round team in the NFL? Are they going to go to the NCAA or the conference championship? And they did it. They stepped up. They got to stop. They had an 8-minute drive.
You took the words out of my mouth.
And they went down there, and they literally played. You know what I was thinking about on my drive, too? Is a lot of Super Bowl teams, like think about these Tom Brady teams. Flannel will probably hate this. Think about those Tom Brady teams. What did he do so well? A game manager, right? He would go out there. They had an insane run game, and he would go these long drives, and that's how good. That's why part of why they were good. Their defense and these long drives and running the ball and keeping the other team off the field.
Yeah.
When you had a lead and controlled the game, they did that. That looked like a championship team that does that.
How about this? You know who I didn't think about during the game yesterday? I didn't remember he was on the team. I say that respectfully. It's C.J. Gardner-Johnson.
Yeah.
This is someone who I believe is a huge loss for the team. I thought they were going to falter a little bit more than they have. I thought there was going to be more of a gap in their play with C.J. Gardner-Johnson leaving, getting injured. Tracy Walker stepped up. Ife Melifonwu stepped up. Cam Sutton's playing great at cornerback. I won't go the Will Harris route, but Jerry Jacobs is stepping out. It's been incredible to see some of these plays. I keep thinking about Tracy Walker, and when he went out last year, immediately I think it was within 2 or 3 plays, Minnesota Vikings, they throw to a wide open KJ Osborne because there's a miscommunication in the secondary. That's not happening this year. It seems like Ife Melifonwu was a starter. Like it feels like it. There's no drop off in play.
No. I love Iffy, by the way. Iffy goes out. He plays with fire.
He's smart.
He's good. Yeah, he flies around the field. That's something, again, I'm going to keep bringing up this stream because, first of all, the streams are so fun. I love the streams so much. And if you guys didn't tune into the stream yesterday, I had one of the best. And you guys used to see the videos of my gambling thing that I do not lose. I had one of the best gambling days of my life last night.
You got to share at least one of them.
I hit... first of all, on the show here on Wednesday, I gave you guys Detroit Lions money line -120. I gave you guys Green Bay Packers under 22.5. Those were the 2 locks of the day. Both hit with ease. And then on the day of the game, I put in Detroit Lions 5 sacks plus 1,800. I had a parlay plus 550. I had another one plus 580. I had Aiden Hutchinson sack plus the Lions win plus 200. Like it was just everything was hitting. I was sitting over there on the stream, D-Mac behind me, just hype manning me, and it was unreal. I probably was up like 30 units yesterday.
Let's go.
And that's insane. Like it just everything went my way. It was unbelievable.
If you want to make money, bet with Booner. No doubt about that. I was kind of salty I didn't ride on a couple separate ones yesterday. But one big thing that stood out to me yesterday on why the Detroit Lions defense was so successful was the D tackle play out of Buggs and Ali McNeil. I mean, McNeil had 2 tackles for loss. I believe Buggs had a sack. Yep. It's crazy to see that from the defensive tackle play because that's what we were all worried about coming into the season. Seems like Buggs really brought that edge back to this defense.
Yeah, and Lee McNeil was the 2nd highest rated defensive player on the team during the game, and John Kaminsky was the number 1.
D-line, I said it on Wednesday. I was like, that D-line, one thing I want to see out of them is put the back-to-back. We'll talk about this in a little bit, but the back-to-back performances together.
Yeah, back-to-back.
Because you had 2 stinkers the first 2 weeks.
Facts. So come on back. We're gonna talk about the NFC North. We're gonna take this a little bit deeper. See if are the Lions truly the king of the NFC North. But first, I got to tell you about Mark White Real Estate, because when buying or selling real estate, flexibility and control over the sales process is key. So sellers, how would you like the freedom of canceling your listing agreement at any time for any reason with no penalty? Well, that's exactly what you can do with the Mark White and Associates minute-by-minute listing agreement. Try it out today. Because if you're looking to buy or sell real estate, visit markwhitesells.com or call 248-290-8242. Again, that's markwhitesells.com, where flexibility meets success.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience from one of our talented stylists, and register for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to win an all-expenses-paid suite for the 2024 NCAA tournament for you and 5 of your best buds. That's right, college basketball's most elite event. You and your 5 best friends just get to any Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut experience and automatically register to win the trip of your dreams. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate, along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m.
The sports marketing agency would not be who we are without great community partners like Higuera Health and Carol Zuniga.
It's an awesome opportunity to partner with your organization. Higuera Health is a comprehensive behavioral health organization. We serve children through older adults with mental health, substance use, and developmental disabilities across Western Wayne counties, and really excited to now be in downriver communities as well. Give us a call at 734-458-4601.
Just in time for football, Glorious Cannabis is dropping a new ice water bubble hash infused pre-roll called Honolulu Blue. It smells so good, it's like the whiff of the first playoff win in 31 years. It's a gassy, aggressive strain named in the honor of Detroit football. If you haven't had one of these ice water pre-rolls, check them out. They're so smooth. Find them at Dispo Dispensary for 25% off. Check it out online at www.gloriouscanna.com.
All right, welcome back to Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. I am Booner as always. If you guys are new to the show, my name is Booner and I do not lose, just like the Detroit Lions. But as always, here with Matthew Broder, Detroit Lions beat reporter, Lucas in the TV booth today, and Nick in the sound booth. He just killed that.
Let's go. He tripped up a little bit. We're good though.
No, don't do that. But what we're gonna do here, real quick, I'm gonna make sure here. I want to make sure I have the number here. We're going to open the phone lines up for the rest of the show. So if you guys want to call in, this is going to kind of be what we do going forward. We're going to try and get to everyone. If we don't get to you, we're going to do our best to, but then, you guys will be able to call back every day and keep calling in. So if you guys have something with the Detroit Lions, whether it's the state of the Detroit Lions that we just talked about, whether it's what we're about to talk about, the NFC North, the Kings of the NFC North, call in. You can talk about it. We'll go through our show here, but while we do it, we might bring 1 or 2 people on throughout each segment. So the number is 313-552-6322. Again, that is 313-552-6322. We'll throw that in the chat as well, and we'll make sure we pin that up there. But let's get into it here, brother.
But let me ask you a question first.
Please.
And I won't steal your intro into this category, but are you dedicating this segment to a certain a Green Bay favorite CBS writer,
oh my gosh,
analyst?
I forgot all about that. Pete Prisco. Hey, welcome back to the show, buddy. Because listen, 2 weeks ago you had the Detroit Lions at number 18 and the Green Bay Packers at 10. Last week, or actually Monday, you had the Detroit Lions at number 10 and the Green Bay Packers at number 7 in the NFL. Don't understand how what your mind thinks what it is, but that is embarrassing. That what the Detroit Lions just did to you and proved you wrong.
Embarrassing.
Should never do a power rankings again. I can't wait to see Monday. He better have them in the top 5, because if the Detroit Lions went and beat his 7th ranked team, they better jump up into the top 5.
Nick, you got a caller. All right, before we get into the segment, we'll take one. All right.
Let's go. Wayne from Lincoln Park. Wayne, you're leading off tonight. You're live.
Wayne, thanks for joining the show. What do you want to talk about tonight?
Come on, Wayne.
Can you hear us?
Wayne, are you there?
Oh, he hung up. Damn.
We'll see if
All
we
right.
can get Wayne back, but Booner.
Let's get into the Kings of the North here because the Detroit Lions just dominated, and we talked about it on Wednesday. We kept saying, set the tone, set the tone, set the tone.
Cam
And
Sutton,
what we
baby.
were talking about was, for the to me at least, what I'm talking about when you go play Green Bay, fresh new quarterback, Aaron Rodgers is gone, the NFC North is open for the next 3 or 4 years, right?
You would think.
Now it's time the Detroit Lions, they set the tone on Thursday, and you go in and you take that crown, and look at this crown right here. You take the crown and you put it on. My head's too big, won't do that. But you put the crown on because the next 3 or 4 years, the Detroit Lions own the NFC North. They proved it last night. So, Broder, that's what we want to talk about.
Yeah.
Is do you truly believe that they took that crown last night, not just for this year, but kind of for the future?
I got to think about the future one for a minute. But in terms of last night, in terms of this season, I didn't think they were going to be able to take that crown on the first division game of the season. I thought it was going to be a little bit closer. I thought Green Bay was going to play them a little tougher. But after the outcome of that game, after we see how they played on both sides of the ball, still undermanned, I definitely think they took the crown right from Green Bay's jowls. I know Minnesota, they're on top of the division technically. They won last year, and we got to give them a little bit of credit, but it is a race between the Lions and the Packers. And they went into Lambeau Field early in the season and made a statement. I didn't think they would be able to make a statement like this so early, but this sets up the entire rest of the season. Going 3-1 in these first 4 games is a massive success for this team. If you ask anybody before the season, if you're going into week 5 with a 3-1 record, 100% of the people would be happy with that. They now get to go into, I would say, that maybe a softer part of their schedule, depending on what Tampa Bay looks like over the next 2 weeks. You got Carolina, Tampa Bay, a tough test against Baltimore, and then the Raiders on Monday Night Football. But in terms of this division, they've made their statement against the Bears, the Vikings, and now the Packers. They went into Lambeau, into Green Bay Packer territory. And I'd say turn their season upside down. They were on the up, and now the Packers aren't looking so good.
They did, and that's okay. And let me clear this up too, because that's where I come around to the next 3-4 years in the NFC North is really outside of the Detroit Lions. Tell me what team that really has that upside to where you're confident, because we thought it was the Green Bay Packers and Jordan Love, and last night you went in there and dominated them at home. The Detroit Lions went and made a statement. The Bears are about to get the number 1 pick for the 2nd straight year.
And I thought they were the biggest threat before the season.
Exactly. A lot of people, 90% of the people did in the North. And I was the one that was like, the Packers. I thought they were. And then Jordan Love, he might not be the Jordan Love we all thought. He's just going to be an average player, it looks like. And then the Vikings, they're selling. You know, Justin Jefferson's very scary, but they're sitting there at 0-3. And they're looking about, they've already sold their whole defense. So last night, that was, to me, it was, all right, you probably have the 2nd best team in the North right now, and you have a chance to really show that you can dominate and you can take that next step in the NFC North. And it's going to take teams. I mean, look how long it, like for Detroit, when Dan Campbell came in, it took 2 or 3 years to get to where we are right now, right?
Yeah.
It's going to take some of these teams time to get back.
Oh, without a doubt. And you think, sorry, since you brought up the Vikings, I can't get my head off. They traded Stephon Diggs a couple years back, right, when he wanted to get paid, and they traded him for what turned out to be Justin Jefferson.
Yep.
There's no guarantee that they're going to re-sign Justin Jefferson. They may go ahead and do the same thing. That's a conversation for a later day, but they're definitely trending in the wrong direction. They might move Kirk Cousins. If I were them, I'd be tanking for Caleb Williams too.
Yeah, that's the only worry I have there with like the Bears too, is that they do get the number 1 pick again, and they're not going to trade this one out. They'll trade Justin Fields. They'll get something for Fields, and they'll go Caleb Williams. And that's what I don't want to happen. But kind of just with the state of the NFC North here is, it just showed me last night. They set the tone. I'm starting to look at this Detroit Lions team, and anyone, please, because this might be an outlandish statement, and I would love to know your guys' thoughts and in the chat if you guys think this is crazy. But over the last 3 years with Brad Holmes, the way that Brad Holmes drafts, the way that the culture is being built through Dan Campbell and Jared Goff, my kind of thought on this is and I've said this before, is they're building a long-term success thing here. They're not looking at short term. If they were looking at short term, they would have traded for big pieces. They would have gone out and already gotten the Devontae Adams. They would have went and got the Mike Evans already. They're short term, and the way I know that is because Brad Holmes is so damn good at drafting. And I look at it like this, like teams like, let's go to a different league real quick. Do you guys remember the Warriors like 15 years ago when they took so long to kind of get to where they were because they drafted all of those guys? Steph Curry, Draymond, Klay Thompson. They went out and drafted guys, and then they brought some veterans in. That's how I look at what – and I'm not saying – and this is where I didn't want you guys to kind of be like, oh, Booner, woo-hoo. I'm not saying they're going to turn into the Warriors and win 5 championships in the next whatever years. What I'm saying is it's that thing where that consistency that the Warriors have to where you're building through the draft and you're becoming a championship team for a 10-year span instead of a 3-year span.
100%. Tyler Chauvet says chemistry. They're building teams the right way. And they're bringing in professionals. Sorry, go ahead. No, I was going to say they're going after the Brian Branches of the world, the Jack Campbell, Sam Laportas, guys who were captains, 2-year captains in college. That's part of the reason they went after these guys early. They have trust in them. And guys who are maybe a little quieter, aren't the vocal leaders like Jahmyr Gibbs, they pair that with Sam Laporta, who's more of an outspoken, a friendly guy. He's the energy there. What he's doing, he's building a balanced team, a mix of veterans and rookies. He's getting the rookies to play early and often. These guys are contributing.
Early and often, baby.
There are 4 rookies that are a huge part of this team. And we may start to see 2 or 3 more for the rest of the season. It's incredible. And he's thinking down the line, whether it's just for leverage at the negotiating table or if this guy's going to be our next quarterback, Hendon Hooker. He's putting all these things together. And I know some people like to say with that 3rd-round pick, even still, like, could have had a top wide receiver in the draft, could have got another weapon. But there's something about what Brad Holmes is doing that I trust. And the fact that he hasn't made a move yet. He didn't go get the Mike Evans and the Chase Youngs and everything, all those sexy trades and acquisitions. He didn't go do it. I know he has a plan. Of course, it would look great if we had Mike Evans and Chase Young on this team now, but there's a reason he's not. I don't know what it is, but there's a reason.
The big thing with it, though, is like when you're trying to build it like the Patriots did, how they had that with Bill Belichick, they're drafting guys. They're always drafting defensive guys. They're bringing guys in young to teach them that culture that they have, that winning culture. That's what you're seeing with these. Is you're seeing these young guys like the rookies. You have 4 rookies that are elite right now, and they got brought into this Dan Campbell culture. That's all they're going to know right now in the NFL. Yeah. So when they're done in 4 years, when you need to re-sign them, all they're going to know is this winning culture, and they're going to be like, "Yep, I'll stay." And if they don't, you trust Brad Holmes because he's done it 4 out of 4 years or 3 out of 3 years. He's gone out and got pieces that are reliable pieces, and they're going to learn the same thing because they're going to be fresh in the NFL. So the way they're building it is just like kind of the Warriors, Patriots. Again, not saying the Detroit Lions are going to go win those championships. I'm just saying that style of that's the thought process that they're having right now instead of doing it the way that like, hey, let's just go sign LeBron James. Let's sign Tom Brady like the Bucks did, and now the Bucks are bad again. Like, let's go do that. No, they're doing it the right way and the way that we all should want. And we've never seen this in Detroit before. We've never seen that.
And that culture is leading to players like C.J. Gardner-Johnson, Emmanuel Mosley, Cam Sutton coming. I started with C.J. Gardner-Johnson and Mosley because they came on a 1-year deal. This isn't the big contract that they're looking for, but they feel something in Detroit. They trust something in Detroit, and that's why they're coming. That's part of what makes Detroit a destination now in the NFL, which less than 5 years ago, you'd think I'm crazy for saying something like that, but there's a reason they're coming to Detroit.
Yeah.
And it's Brad Holmes. It starts with Brad Holmes. Actually, it starts with Sheila Hamp. And the fact that she now owns 2 teams in the NFC North, even better.
Cooking with that one. We got
let's
2.
Call before we go to break.
Yeah.
Let's do one of them.
Who we got?
We're going to go to Rich in Nashville. Rich, you
Rich
are
in
live.
Nashville. How you doing tonight, Rich?
Hey. Man, I'm great.
Let's go,
How are you
Rich.
guys?
Hey,
love the new show, man.
Thank you, Rich.
Thank
you for tuning in too. We do really appreciate it a ton.
Absolutely.
What do you've got?
So
for us here?
I'm right with you guys on it's clearly that when we even the game that we lost this last week that that we're clearly a talented team and clearly more talented and at this point you're almost disappointed to see the matchups and not see Hutch get his sacks and our rookies make amazing plays. I mean, because we're obviously loaded with talent. But I really wanted to call because I was struck by the performance of Jared Goff last night.
Love it.
The interception the interception that happened at the beginning of the game.
Yep.
Clearly was forgotten quickly, and not just that, he played with like a swagger like the whole game. And then the interviews after the game, he's clearly like his most confident. And here you have like this team full of rookies, right? And we have some senior players on this team. But Jared Goff is obviously the right man for the job at this moment. And it just appears to me that his, obvious Super Bowl experience and his ability to forget the last play, and I think his confidence in the scheme and his ability to be able to make something happen, seems really apparent. It seems to me like flowers got to be given. We got to give the guy his flowers. He's obviously putting it together, and like I said, you have a team of rookies, but if you've got this core of guys that are, that are showing the way, and even if Hutch is kind of like you've got Panay being a leader on this team, you've got Hutch being a leader on this team, and you've got some of these very young players already ascending to, in my opinion, Pro Bowl status at a very early age, and then it's all led by a very veteran quarterback that stays calm under the scenario and is now kind of walking with a swagger. So
he does.
I just wanted to give him his flowers.
Yeah, I appreciate that too, Rich. Hey, we appreciate you calling. We're going to have to head to break here in a second, but we do appreciate that. And Rich, I'm going to tell you this too real quick. I do have a take on Jared Goff at some point in this show. I think might shock some people, but I think I've got some valid points. I think it's a pretty valid.
Yeah. I want to revisit some of the points that Rich just made. So I'm excited.
I'm going to tell you guys about Guardian Alarm. Rich, that was awesome. Make sure you guys still call in here. The number is, let me pull it up real quick.
313-552-6322.
Yeah, well, I love it. I need to remember. If we're going to do call-ins every night, Booner, you got to lock in and get that in your head, man. Come on. All right, let me tell you guys about Guardian Alarm, baby, because the defense last night was unbelievable.
Unreal.
But Guardian Alarm, customized solutions from real experts. Our professional technicians take the time to recommend security and automation solutions specific to your needs. 24/7 professional monitoring. Call us any day or night and know that a Guardian Alarm team member will stay on the phone as long as needed. That is technology backed by people like me. Your safety and security deserves technology that has proven to work and people who have been proven to care. Make sure you call 1-800-STAY-OUT.
By now you know me, Christina Gennari, as the obvious choice in real estate. And you know my website, soldchristina.com, as your #1 resource for buying or selling your home. Myself, along with my amazing staff, pride ourselves on making your home buying and selling experience a relaxing and easy one. Come see why we are the obvious choice. Christina Gennari at soldchristina.com, the obvious choice in real estate.
Burgers and chicken sandwiches are taking over at Big Boy. Try our new pretzel bacon cheeseburger. Turn up the heat with Bob's Hot Chicken Sandwich. Upgrade those regular fries with our chili cheese fries or loaded baked potato fries. Hit your sweet tooth with funnel cake fries or Reese's chocolate peanut butter thunder cake. Load up on all your favorites today at Big Boy.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel. Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, 2 of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune in to the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder.
For over 60 years, Fairway Packing has been providing Michigan's finest restaurants, hotels, and casinos with prime beef, dry-aged beef, and Wagyu beef. You can experience the Fairway difference today by visiting their steak shop in Grosse Pointe Woods, where they have some delicious grab-and-go steaks. Or you can order online at fairwaypacking.com. Fairwaypacking.com. You guys are goofy.
Let's go, baby. Let's go. Welcome back to Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. You guys hear that dog over there?
We hear Denver.
That was for nobody.
The one and only. Lucas overslept the morning show today, so they made him work with us tonight.
I made a deal. If that happens specifically on like a Victory Monday, Victory Friday, it goes blind.
Lon, I hope it happens again. I might break your phone so it happens again.
JMO's free.
JMO is free, baby. Look at it. Free JMO. Let's go, baby. Hold on. Yeah. Free JMO.
Let's go.
Let's go. It's a little big on me, but
can people still pick that up at the Woodward Sports Network shop?
Network shop. Make sure you go to woodwardsports.com. Make sure you guys go in there. If you guys are watching right now, hit that like button for your boys.
Professor.
Let's get those likes up so they keep us on the air, baby. But just be careful, just in case. I want to cover everything. We're going to get into, though, because Rich just called in and talked about Jared Goff. What ended up happening was our next segment was breaking down the offense anyways.
Giving them some grades.
Yeah, so we're going to be giving them grades. We're going to have some breakdowns here, talk about some of the players. I'm just going to throw it out there to start.
Throw it, dude. Like Jared.
My grades are bad. I don't know how to grade people, like I said, to start the show.
I'll grade your grades.
Okay, okay, yeah. But let's I like that, actually. Let's start it off here. Let's start off with Jared Goff, the quarterback position. Broder, what grade are you giving? Because, yeah, you go first with this one.
I'm going to give Goff a B+. Oh,
wow.
And it's that high. To me, the game last night was about his intangibles. It was about his leadership. It was about coming back from that early interception. That was a really bad interception, but it didn't seem to faze him at all. He was 19 of 28 for 210 yards, a touchdown, and 1 interception. He had 11 yards rushing, too. But it's that calmness and it's that ability to have a short memory and recover from a mistake that was crucial that game. He ended up finding receivers when he needed them, whether it was Amon-Ra St. Brown for a first down, Josh Reynolds for a first down. He does that a lot. We're about to talk about him. Jared Goff was that was the savvy Jared Goff I wanted to see. He wasn't phased at Lambeau at all. What about you, Booner?
Jared Goff, fellas. This is the conversation I really wanted to have talk about here. I'm giving Jared Goff an A- for this game. Sole reason, interception takes him down to the minus, and this is why I said I'm bad at grades, because I don't like to put, especially this great game that these guys played, putting these guys down. I'm gonna go A-. I'm gonna tell you what, the statement that I had, and I was on my way over here. I was speaking on the phone with the one, the only Hollywood,
Jeff,
and I asked him this question, and he didn't think it was like it didn't seem crazy. Jared Goff right now in the NFL is a top 7 quarterback.
Not crazy.
Before we had the conversation, maybe he was top 10. I almost wanted to say he was a top 5 quarterback in the NFL right now. If you go to the statistics, and I'm saying go to the statistics before the last night's game, because obviously all these other quarterbacks haven't played yet. Jared Goff, going into last night's game after week 3, was top 6 in every single quarterback category.
Damn.
He was top 6 in yards a game, touchdowns, QBR, rating. He was top 6 in almost everything. Maybe he was like 8th in 1 or 2 of them. But he's been in the quarterback statistics, he's top 6. If you go look at last season, he's top 6 in every single stat as well. Touchdowns, yards, on the bottom of the list in interceptions, quarterback rating, yards a game. Everything, Jared Goff has been statistically a top 6 quarterback since they started 1-6 last year. So if you want to break down quarterback, what's the number one thing in the NFL? Boys, I want an answer, everyone here. What's the number one thing you want your quarterback to do in the NFL?
Protect the ball.
Win.
Ding, 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 ding.
Lucas
Go win a
knows
football
ball.
game! And guess what? Jared Goff does that because since they've been 1-6, he's been since they started 1-6 last year, he's led this team to an 11-3 record. And Lucas, do you have that graphic real quick? The 11-3 and all the football teams that have had the same record as the Detroit Lions in that stretch of football.
Does it have like Dan Campbell and Goff on it?
It has like all the football teams at the top, a bunch of different records. Look at that. 49ers 12-0, Chiefs 11-2, Bengals 9-2, and look at that, your Detroit Lions 11-3, and the Philadelphia Eagles 10-3. And take away San Fran, right? They have Brock Purdy, who's been actually really, really good. What do the Chiefs have? Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, Jalen Hurts, and Jared Goff has led this team to that.
It's as if he could, be in the running for like a top 5 MVP vote.
But I mean, right now, maybe he's throwing a couple interceptions. But then at that point too, right? If you want to really talk about this and break that down to where he's throwing some bad interceptions. Every single time he's thrown an interception in the last 3 games, the next drive, guess what he's done? Bounced back, went over adversity, got his team together, and said, listen, we're not doing this. Let's go score a touchdown. And he scored a touchdown on every single drive after he's thrown an interception. And he said it in a post-game interview yesterday when they asked him about the interception. And he goes, listen, I'm the biggest advocate on this team. You make a mistake, you move on. Yeah. We're not going to win games sulking about it. I truly believe that you could make an argument that Jared Goff's a top 6, top 7 quarterback in the NFL right now.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. And for a lot of the reasons Rich said when he called in, he's playing with this chip on his shoulder now. He's got this swagger to him that we didn't see last year. And who knows what it's attributed to. I like to think that he's that much more comfortable with his second year in a row with Ben Johnson and Mark Brunell, and understanding the offense and understanding their game plan going into it, understanding what he has to do at the line of scrimmage. He fits in with this group of misfits, this group of villains. He's a calming presence. He is. And you start to see him snap back a little bit at the media earlier in training camp. Yesterday,
fuck Ryan Fitzpatrick.
He went at Ryan Fitzpatrick.
That was
for calling him a poor man's Matt Ryan.
What was Ryan Fitzpatrick though in his career?
Exactly.
He's poor man's
smart,
Jared Goff?
He's a very smart Harvard educated.
You know what? Jared Goff should have hit him with that. He should have got up there and be like, you're a poor man's me in the league. What are you talking about?
The only reason people know who Ryan Fitzpatrick is because he's been on their favorite team probably 2 or 3 times. The man has played on damn near every NFL team. That's why people know who Ryan Fitzpatrick is. You're going to have a little Fitz magic if you keep going to a new situation every year where nobody knows how to game plan for you. But once they figure you out, you're buns. That's what Ryan Fitzpatrick was.
Paul Thomas goes, Fitzpatrick is a poor man's Ryan Leaf. He does have a nice beard. Snapbacks and tattoos from the ski mask boy. But no. Jared Goff, you give him an A-, I give him a B+. I think it's a great grade. I can accept an A+.
Yeah, let's.
What about? Ooh, they were banged up going into this game, but what about that offensive line?
A+. A+. All right. Do you want to know why?
Why?
David Montgomery. You see what he did last night? They relied on the run. That 8-minute drive, they kept giving it to David Montgomery, and every single time, Lucas, what did we say on the stream? They kept turning 3 or 4 yards into 6, 7 yards. And you could say, yeah, David Montgomery's he's out there, he's a hard runner. That offensive line was up there fighting with him, pushing him ahead. They dominated. How many times did Goff get sacked last night? Does anyone know?
Twice.
2 times? All right. Maybe we go to A-.
This is why
just because of that.
This is why I'm giving him an A-. They did battle through injuries.
All right, I'll go to A. I'll go 1 down.
All right.
A+ to A.
All right.
I like how we talk that. That's why I'm not good with grades.
No, you're fine. I give him an A- for those reasons. They did battle through injuries. Taylor Decker played well, but they gave up 2 sacks, 2 tackles for loss. But at the end of the day, they paved the way for a 211 yards rushing. I'm going to jump ahead because you were talking about David Montgomery as your reasons for them playing well. I actually did give David Montgomery, the running back room, an A+. And that's not just because he walked away with, 121 yards and 3 tutties on 32 carries. That's his number, isn't it, David Montgomery? No, that's Brian Branch. But I saw these next-gen stats. 113 of his 121 yards came after contact. So that's why I'm not giving the O-line all that credit. He was getting hit near the line of scrimmage, and he was always breaking that first tackle. So I'm giving him 32 attempts. Gibbs said it was 8 for 40. That's a nice little average. What about the tight end?
Carry?
Yeah. What about the tight end room?
Tight end, that's tough. I'm just going to go like an average B maybe.
Okay.
I mean, Laporta had that one huge play where he broke off the stiff arm. Ooh, the little Heisman stiff arm there. And then he did drop a pass. Other tight ends, I mean, they just blocked, right? Which is great. You need that. But there was nothing like if Sam Laporta went out there and had another 5+ catches, another 80 yards, and maybe even that, I would probably say an A. But there wasn't like anything that stood out. Yeah. Sam Laporta, statistically wise, he's the number 1 tight end in the NFL. That's a fact. If anyone wants to try and fact check me, do it.
Facts.
Even after this weekend, I bet you, as long as TJ Hawkinson doesn't go off, he'll still be the number 1 statistic tight end in the NFL.
Yeah.
But he's a top 5 tight end right now in the NFL outside of that.
He played well. I'm giving
my opinion.
I'm giving an A-. He did have one big drop, but he had those 4 receptions on 5 targets and I believe it was 56 yards. They were all big catches. They were all I don't know if they were all for first downs, but they were in crucial situations. So you got to love that. And I thought he's improving in the blocking game. So
for sure.
I might have been a little generous to the A-, but we're going to go with that. The last one, wide receivers. I'm giving them a B+. There were 19 completions spread around to 5 different receivers. So it's not like one of them stepped up. Amon-Ra St. Brown had a nice touchdown catch. Reynolds finished with a nice game. 3 catches for 69 yards.
The best catch of the game, too.
They bet that one-handed catch that Goff put right there. I'm going to give them a B+.
Too, by the way.
They made clutch catches and they moved the chain. So I'm going to give them a B+.
All right, this is not a lie, people. In my notes, I have B+ for the wide receivers. I think it was just solid. It was more of the running backs dominated.
It is.
And I gave the running backs an A+.
Yeah.
So
I love it.
I know we have to go to break here.
Before we go to break, can you just put up that I tweeted something out of Josh Reynolds' stat that I uncovered, and I just have to call it out because we're going to move on to the defense. 12 receptions on the season, all 12 catches have resulted in a first down for his team.
What have I always said about Josh Reynolds? I put the clip up on Twitter today. Every time Josh Reynolds gets a catch, or no, not that. Anytime that you're sitting there with like a 3rd and long or you need a first down and you're desperate for one, some reason that the defense forgets about Josh Reynolds. And he's always open and he always finds a way to get Goff gets him the ball.
And what did Jared Goff say in the locker room 2 days ago? He was talking about Marvin Jones and Josh Reynolds. Like, it wasn't in the game plan that they weren't going to get the ball, weren't going to get any targets, but that's just because the game played out that way. But he has all the confidence in the world that when he needs them, they're going to be in the right situation, they're going to make a big catch.
Which
so
I love that.
We are going to come back and we're going to break down the defense. We're going to talk grades.
Well, let's take a caller when we come back.
Okay, I
know we have some people on the line, Nick. All right, we'll take a caller or two when we come back, and then we'll get into the defense. But let me tell you guys real quick about Planet Fitness, I believe here. Planet Fitness is the home of the judgment-free zone, where anyone, and I mean anyone, even myself, Booner, they let me in there, can feel comfortable and work on their fitness goals. We are here to help you build a lasting, active lifestyle, which I need to incorporate in my life. At Planet Fitness, you will experience squeaky clean gyms that has tons of equipment. And the clean gyms are clean from Nick as well. A full body workout in 30 minutes, and all memberships include fitness trainings. For the more information or to join today, go over to your local Planet Fitness or go to planetfitness.com, where your fitness is essential.
Gabby is a college student struggling to study for her big exam. Then she discovered Syntron, a healthy way for her to stay awake and focus. Jennifer frequently has chaotic days like this until she gets online, orders some Syntron, and finds her groove. April visited her local grocery store, purchased a case of Syntron, and entered to win the Syntron 100K Vegas giveaway. Pick up your case of Syntron today at any Meijer location or visit drinksyntron.com/Vegas and enter for the 100K Vegas giveaway.
Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions show. Let's go! Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com.
Hey, this is Mr. Kearney, Chief Academic Officer at Academy of Warren. I want to welcome you to the brand new field house. The state-of-the-art facility has a regulation basketball court, volleyball court, soccer field. It can be used for 7-on-7 football. Our K-8 academic features AM, PM, latchkey, small classroom sizes, Learning Street, futuristic media center, free breakfast and lunch, Houghton Mifflin curriculum, academic games, K-8 athletics, and more. Enroll today at academywarren.net.
How would you like to see famous athletes like Jim Harbaugh, Braylon Edwards, and Darren McCarty play golf with average Joes? Well, thanks to Randy Wise Automotive and Woodward Sports, you will be able to do just that. It's the Randy Wise Celebrity Golf Tour, so make the wise choice and pay attention to Woodward Sports for more info soon.
All right, welcome back to Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. My name is Booner, as always. Broder over there dancing it up. He looks like Aiden Hutchinson dancing. Remember when Aiden hit this last night?
Remember Dante Culpepper?
No.
Did Dante do that?
Before your time, kids.
I remember Dante.
Hey, kids.
Shout out Dante Culpepper.
Some candy?
But we're gonna. If you guys
no, Broder, no.
Yeah, you can't do that with that
he's got the
mustache,
stash to match.
Come on. Broder does drive a van outside. Pulled up in one today.
Keep the kids from
Big
Allen
and
Park
white.
away from him.
His side job is ice cream shop.
Got
That's
to
really
understand
weird.
trick a lot of kids.
Yeah, okay, for
He's
sure.
like doubling and tripling down.
It's unreal, man. Real quick though, make sure you guys.
He's being dead ass right now.
I'm nervous.
Hearts for the creepers. We got someone on the line.
I've got my glasses on, but I can see how red this man's getting.
We're gonna go to Stafford and Lansing. Stafford, you're
Matthew?
live.
Stafford, how you doing from Lansing? Can you hear us?
Well, yeah, doing good. How about y'all?
Doing very
great.
well.
All right, good. I just got one quick question for y'all.
You bet.
How badly did your heart sink when you saw Brian Branch go down?
Oh my gosh.
You want to take it?
Oh my gosh. Stafford, I'm gonna tell you what. Is your real name Stafford, by the way, or is that just like a?
Yes.
It is. Wow.
Yes, it
Let's
is.
go. All right, Matthew Stafford. I love that. When Brian Branch went down, I think the whole room. I was here on the stream. I think the whole room, it deflated instantly. Especially because when they showed the replay, you couldn't tell that he rolled his ankle, and it looked like it could have been a non-contact.
Yeah.
And it was more so like a, oh my gosh, there's no way this is happening again, back to back. But basically, within a 3-week span, you could lose Brian Branch and C.J. Gardner. And everything went through my head through that moment there.
Yeah, I have the exact same answer, Stafford. It was the fact that we didn't. It seemed like a non-contact injury at first, and the cart came out so fast. We've been seeing that damn cart way too much.
What about this, Stafford? When you saw him getting taped up, how pumped up were you for that?
Flip, nice.
I was screaming at the TV, no.
And that's fair. We were on the stream. We were saying the same thing. Like, just keep the man out. You have 10 days off until the next game. Let the man rest.
Let Brett cook and let Brian Branch rest.
If he will hold it down, man.
Yeah. Well, Stafford.
And here's the more weird thing is I'm a State fan, and it was against Jaden Reed.
Oh.
That one kind of hurt a little bit.
Shouldn't even have
You
counted.
know what I mean?
Jaden Reed didn't score, right?
Jaden Reed had that 43-yard catch that was after the clock hit
set up the
0.
They need to be able to review that. You know that staff. They definitely needed to review that. That was crazy.
Well, Stafford, thanks so much for the call. We appreciate you.
Yep, thank you.
Call in anytime. We're at the lines open all next week.
All right.
This
All
defense,
right, let's go Lions.
This
Go
defense
Lions.
that led up that play to. I know it was after the clock wind down, but they gave up that deep play.
Huge play.
Will Harris was guarding Jaden Reed on that. And then the very next play, actually, it was 2 plays later. 2 plays later, they have there's a miscommunication in the secondary that led to it was a Christian Watson touchdown. So that was maybe the worst stretch of game. But yeah, dude, when Brian Branch got hurt, there were some hearts that sunk there. But it seems all reports are saying that it's a minor injury. He's got the extra 3 days, which is huge. So fingers crossed, everybody. Prayers up for B's. Double B's?
B2 Bomber.
BB Bomber,
B2
B2
Bomber, baby.
Yep.
Brian Branch, BB Gun.
Yeah. So let's get into
grade
the
that
defense grades here.
Yeah, let's grade that
I'm
defense.
going to start with. Do you want to do so? Defensive line's one, right? Do you want to do edges and interior separate, or do you want to just go
Put them all together.
all together?
All together.
Do you want me to go first?
Yeah.
A plus 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 plus.
Come with the pluses.
Let me tell you something about this defensive line, fellas. Right now, and I know teams haven't played yet because we played the Thursday game, but if you go on ESPN and you go to stats right now and look at who's leading the league in sacks, the Detroit Lions are number 1 with 13 sacks. That right there.
It's insane.
That right there. And I know you could be like, yeah, well, team's got to play Sunday. I get that. They're going to be in the top 5 at the end of the weekend. That is with them getting 1 sack in week 1 and week 2. They had 1 sack in the first 2 weeks of the season, and they right now have the most in the NFL.
And it was by a linebacker, too.
Yes. So you're sitting there and you're looking at this. This defensive line has stepped up drastically. And there's one person I want to kind of touch base on here. And, Lucas, did we have an Aiden Hutchinson graphic that I sent in there? Do you see that at all?
So like a Darius Slay tweet?
Yes, sir.
Look at this.
Not to give it away.
Did we put in a Darius Slay one? I don't know if we did. But
no, this is great.
Aiden Hutchinson yesterday versus the Packers, PFF, 1.5 sacks, 8 pressures, 20.5 pass rush with rate. And he's the only player, what's that say, with 7 pressures in multiple games this season. Aiden Hutchinson, Broder.
Booner.
People listening in the chat, all the listeners. Right now, Aiden Hutchinson's a top 10 defensive player. And you know who said that? Darius Slay tweeted it out. I don't know if we have the tweet, but Darius Slay yesterday during the game tweeted out and said, I thought it was about to pop up when that happened. I was like, oh, let's go, Lucas. Elite. But no, top 10 player. I have to give Aiden Hutchinson that. You have to break it down because Right now, what was our sack total for him, or at least for me? 15 sacks. Guess what he's on track for right now after these last 2 games?
15 sacks.
14.7. He's basically on track for 15 sacks a game. There is no reason that he's not a top 10 player, or let's say top 10 edge rusher. You can even move the edge rusher one up right now. He has been elite on this defensive line the last 2 games. What he said the other day when just need to open the jar. Let the jar open. Aiden Hutchinson's going to get his game going. He needed to see 1 sack go. 1 sack. And guess what? He saw 1. He had 2 that game. Had 1.5 yesterday. Already has 4 fumbles. He leads the league in pressures. He's getting to the quarterback. Quarterbacks don't know what to do. Jordan Love.
Fuck him.
Yeah!
Fuck him.
Jordan Love didn't know what to do with Aiden Hutchinson. And you guys saw him in the middle there, just doing the Myles Garrett, going back and forth. That is the most intimidating thing ever. Aiden Hutchinson is one of the best defensive players in the NFL right now. Just like the man Darius Slay said on Twitter last night, or X, or whatever it's called. I'm giving them an A+. Sorry I went on a rant and went over on this defensive line segment, but I had that in here. I had to talk about it. That man is on track for 15 sacks already.
I'll never cut off
after
your
he
rant.
started the season with 0. What does Flannel Sam say? Zip, zip, 0.
0.0.
That's what he says. Sorry.
No, hey, there's a new one you just gave to yourself.
Zip, zip,
I'm
zip.
with you. And we spent a lot of time talking about Aiden Hutchinson this week, almost a call to action. For him to show up in Green Bay, and he did.
Yep.
He did. He's turned it around. Since the first 2 games he went sackless, he's turned it around. And we know he's going to get compared to Kayvon Thibodeau and Trayvon Walker for the rest of his career. But guess what? According to PFF, I know it wasn't on that graphic, but Hutchinson has 6 games with 6 or more QB pressures. All the other second-year defenders in his draft class have 5 such games. Combined.
I saw that today.
Combined.
Broder, let him cook. Can we for this show? There's already one name banned on this show. The quarterback over in Bears. No one's ever allowed to say that on this show again. Can we ban one more thing here?
Ban it.
Can I be? I'm gonna be the. That's gonna be me. I'm gonna be the judge here today again. We're not allowed on this show to ever compare Aiden Hutchinson to Trayvon Walker or Kayvon Thibodeau again. He is miles ahead of them. Miles.
Are you hinting at? Is that a double entendre saying Miles?
Miles.
Are you comparing him to him?
Myles Garrett?
Yeah.
He basically is. Not yet, but he's
But
going
that
to be.
is the trajectory.
But
I'm not even joking.
The last go this week when he started off after this Sunday game, the 2 sacks on Sunday, everyone brought up the stats comparing to those guys, and everything is like Aiden Hutchinson's up here, these guys down here. It is night and day difference. They should not be in the same comparison. And the only reason is because they got drafted in the same draft class. I get their names will be linked together always. But let's just be honest. They're on different levels now.
Facts.
The Jaguars messed up. Should not have taken Trayvon Walker. Now let's stop comparing Aiden Hutchinson to Trayvon Walker.
Yeah.
He's not. They're different levels.
Facts. To finish off the defensive line, I give him an A. You give him an A+++. I give him an A. They had 5 sacks from 5 different players with very little blitzing from them or the linebackers. They also just gave up 27 rushing yards on 12 carries. Had to sneak that in. That's incredible. They're rushed. No. That's one that just needs to continue. You never cut off an Aiden Hutchinson rant. It's the first thing they taught me about in grade school. Moving on. We're going to do these a little bit quicker. We're not going to finish these through this segment. We're going to extend it a little bit into the next one. But linebackers.
Yep.
Alex Anzalone. Derek Barnes, Jack Campbell.
Dogs.
Malcolm Rodriguez didn't play much last night, but linebackers, what would you give them that grade? Booner?
I gave him a B+.
Okay.
Maybe I should have gone. This is where
No.
This is where I get into the points where I don't know how to grade very well. That's why I was really bad at school and I failed. But I love Jack Campbell.
Yeah.
The way I'm going to do some more research so we can talk about it on the show next week. But the amount of snaps that he's been getting, unreal. Alex Anzalone, that disrespect needs to end fast.
It's one of those.
Because the last couple of weeks, there was times where I heard a lot of people, even here, like different places, say like Anzalone's still trash. Like, let him move aside. Let Jack Campbell cook. Anzalone's the heart of that room there, and he's actually very, very elite.
He is.
He is very good. They don't get that. Jerry Jacobs doesn't get that interception if it's not for Alex Anzalone.
No.
He's constantly getting tackles.
He's not the best linebacker in the NFL, but he might be the best linebacker for this team.
Yes.
He's bringing out the best in Derek Barnes, and he's a perfect guy to coach up Jack Campbell for the next. He signed a 3-year contract.
There's going to be a point too to where he's not the best linebacker on the team, and Jack Campbell is.
Yeah,
but he's still going to be a huge piece because he's that leader.
And dude, you could argue that Derek Barnes has been the best linebacker on the team so far. Him or Alex Anzalone. It's wild. I gave him an A-.
That linebacker room last year wasn't that deep. This year, deep. These guys, deep.
You want to go one more, or do you want to go?
One? Yeah,
all right, another one real quick. We're going to split up the secondary. We're going to go corners and safeties separate. Corners. Booner, give me your grade.
I gave him an A. The reason why, Cam Sutton had some huge plays, blew a couple plays up as well, and then Jerry Jacobs, the 2 interceptions.
Boom.
I think that automatically gets you an A.
Yeah. Only reason I didn't give him an A,
takeaways.
It was the deep plays that they gave up, the one to Jaden Reed right at the end of the third.
But who was that?
He and I checked. I was thinking he might be a safety. I had to check. He's listed as a cornerback on the Lions site, so I had to move him into this category.
That's fair.
Also, then the miscommunication on the Christian Watson touchdown. But how about this? How about this stat as I was trolling around PFF? Cam Sutton was the highest graded Lions player in rush defense. In rush defense, a cornerback stopping the run. That's what he does.
He's good, dude. He's a great corner.
That Jerry Jacobs, 5 solo tackles, 2 interceptions, and 4 passes defended. It's wild. Let's take that break.
You want to take the break?
I was going to say
we can hit safeties. We'll take a break, come back, take a couple callers when we come back.
Let's hit safeties. We can do this quick.
Safeties, I gave them an A. This is why I'm bad. I just wanted to give everyone an A.
You're bad if you say you're bad. Just say you're good.
I wanted to give everyone an A.
Booner.
A for effort.
You know how you say you never lose at betting?
Yeah.
Just say you're good.
I'm good. A.
Manifest it.
I'll move on. A.
I give him an A-. And I put Brian Branch in this group, and that's part of it.
Yep.
He led the team with 7 tackles. Tracy Walker played well. Ife Melifanu played well. A-. There's not much to talk about. And I know I snuck 2 more in here, and I'm just going to throw them at you. Coaching, I gave an A+.
Yep.
And the fans, I gave an A+.
But I'm going to tell you guys real quick. When we come back to it, we're going to take some callers. So we have a couple of people on the line. I'm going to tell you guys about SMA, though. SMA, the sports marketing agency, helps spread awareness about mental health and substance abuse. Their podcast, This is the S Word, helps fight the stigma about seeking help. If you or someone you know is struggling, make sure you head over to thesportsma.com. Again, that is thesportsma.com.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel. Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate, along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m.
Do you have football on the brain like Rihanna? Fall ushers in college and professional football, and this year is going to be awesome. Fall's also a perfect time to shop for your home and auto insurance, so shop it like a pro with Swiss Insurance. They cover Woodward Sports, and they should be covering you. So go ask for Mark at Swiss Insurance today at SwissINS.com or call 248-800-4177. That was an elite read.
That was great.
The Rihanna bar kind of went over my head. Can you explain?
The what?
You said...
Oh, she got love on the brain. It was a quick one that just had to, if you got it, you got it. If not, I look like an idiot.
I don't get any of Broder's things.
Just slide it in.
I'm like,
got
for
that
100.
KY jelly. Slide it in.
Just keep swimming. Just keep. But welcome back to Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. My name is Booner with Broder as always. All those bobbleheads in front of him. Lucas tonight in the TD booth because he's getting punished right now. Missed the morning show, slept in. Now they threw him on the night show for a day. That's just his punishment. And Nick in the sound booth, as always. Make sure if you guys haven't already, we've got a ton of people in here. We appreciate you guys tuning in and hit that like button. Tell a friend, too, about the show.
Be a friend, tell a friend.
Every Monday through Friday, we are here, 8 to 10. We're trying to grow this thing out. We're only a couple weeks in, but we appreciate all of the support for sure. We're going to, though, fellas, let's take a caller. We have a caller on the line.
Yes, sir. We're going to go to Gino in Flatland, Northern Ohio. Gino, you're live.
He might be close to the 419.
Let's go.
Hey, what's up, fellas?
What's up,
sir.
Gino?
Hey, what's up, fellas? How you doing? Called in to celebrate that Lions victory.
Let's go, baby!
Let's go, Gino. I'll drink some blue Kool-Aid for you.
A t-shirt.
Hey, guys. I wanted to kind of circle back around to something you guys were hitting on earlier. The depth and the way that this team is wearing people out is incredible.
Yes.
Did you see how gassed the Packers were at the end of the fourth quarter? And we were punching them in the face.
They look deflated, like you could see it in their face.
It was just, I mean, there's few things in life that are that precious, you know?
And what are they?
But so my thought is, this is long-term sustainable.
Yes.
I mean, they're going to be dominant for a while. They're deep and they're mean.
And they're young.
And they're young. I like that, Gino, because that was kind of where I've been on this, is that these are championship teams do that. They dominate teams. They long offensive possessions. Defense plays tough. You know, they're flying around the field. They're making the offense work, and that's like the keys to long-term success. And if you build that culture and those guys feel that, that's it. So, Gino, hey, we appreciate you calling in. We want you to call in some more. We're going to have the phone lines open every day going forward. So, appreciate you.
Absolutely, my brothers. I love the show.
Let's go. We
Thank
appreciate
you, Gino.
that,
We
Gino.
do appreciate it.
Hopefully we call in Monday. We'll talk to you Monday.
You're so right. If you build it, they will come, and that is a Field of Dreams reference. I'm not even making it as a joke.
I know that.
But Brad
I thought
Holmes,
that was Jonah's arc.
Brad
or
Holmes is
something.
truly building this the right way. And you look, we talked about the schedule real briefly at the beginning of the show, but there's a stretch coming up. We're heading into this bye week over the next 4 or 5 weeks coming up.
Huge stretch.
Six maybe, and we're going into it at 3-1, which is a huge luxury. What are you feeling about this next six-game stretch? What does it look like to you record-wise? And get into that in whatever way you please, my friend Booner.
So there's two ways I looked at it, fellas, and I think everyone should look at it this way. Just like I said at the beginning of the show, it's the NFL. You're going to lose games. You can't win every game. There's never been a team that went 17-0. There's the Patriots went 16-0, and guess what? They lost and didn't win the Super Bowl. So there's never been a team that's won every game. So this next 6-game stretch, kind of leading up until that Green Bay game again at home for Thanksgiving, I think it's a huge stretch to where you said this sets you up for two things. One, to win the North. If you dominate this next 6 games, you're set up to have that second half of the season really to win the North, and you don't have to do as much, right? Like obviously you want them still too, but two, it sets you up for seeding.
That's the key.
That's something that I don't think a lot of us have really talked about. I talked about it a little bit before the Chiefs game and right after the Chiefs game, to where, hey, we are at a point to where we're able to maybe kind of really think about the seeding because the NFC is not that great. I can't handle Lucas right now. I don't know if you're looking in the booth there, but he just took his shirt off in the booth. Lucas is naked. Not a joke.
He's in a glass case of emotion.
But seeding is the number one thing to me. Is now that you've shown that you can beat teams and win the games you're supposed to win, seeding now takes over. Right? Like if you have a chance to get a 2 seed to where you get an extra home game in the second round, you want to do that. So what? You play the Panthers at home, Bucks on the road, Ravens road, Raiders home, Monday Night Football, Chargers away, and the Bears at home. I put this down. At worst, in that 6-game stretch, which first of all, I'm an idiot. I put here a 6-game stretch, and I put at worst 5-2. So there's 7 games in that. At worst, though, you drop 2 of those, right?
You weren't very good at school, were you?
No. Math was my best subject, but at worst you go what 4-2. That's how I look at it, because you play at the Chargers, you play at the Ravens. I think you get one of those at least. But at worst, say you drop 2 road games because you play 3 road games there.
It would be a failure if you went anything less than 4-2.
And then you're sitting there at 7-3 going into Thanksgiving, and then you should win that Thanksgiving game. You're 8-3 after Thanksgiving. That is unbelievable. Like that is great. Best case scenario, obviously, you win every single game.
Yeah.
But let's be realistic, right? Let's say you drop 2 of them. You're sitting there at 7-2 or 7-3 heading into Thanksgiving. This team is set up to go compete for the number 1 seed. With these games, the Panthers win, Bucks win, Ravens toss-up, Raiders win, Chargers toss-up, Bears 50-point win.
I wouldn't even say the Chargers are a toss-up, man.
But just because it's on the road, like
I'm confident in that game.
It's in SoFi.
Yeah, but
it's going to be a Lions home game.
I think that's just going to be one of those. It's going to be like the Seahawks game, high scoring. You're going to have to really go out there and put points up, and you're going to have to get a couple stops.
Well, here's
whoever does that the most, and that's how I look at it.
The key. That's our only West Coast trip. That's our only real far travel game, and they get it after a bye week, so they get the rest.
That's true.
They don't have to deal with traveling and making it a short week even shorter. So that's why my record for the next 6 games, I haven't changed it since our preseason predictions. I haven't been this next 6-game stretch going 5-1. And the Ravens are my only loss, but I'm getting more and more confident. I'm not going to lie that game. I'm more confident now than I was at the beginning of the season. They're never easy to play there, though. The Ravens are going to give you a tough game, but that's the one that scares me. But even if that's 1 loss in 6 games.
I'm confident you can win every one of those games.
You can.
Going into each one, I might predict the Detroit Lions to win every one because I do feel like you can win every single one of those games.
Yeah.
But you have to be realistic, is that like outside of being a fan, just being NFL.
Probably
to where
lose one
you
of
play
them.
Chargers on the road, you play the Ravens on the road, you play a Jimmy Garoppolo team. To your point, he never loses, and that's your point.
Rarely loses.
Not my words, by the way, people. Don't.
They're my words.
That's your worst take, bro.
Josh Allen.
They're my words.
Josh Allen dominated Jimmy Garoppolo.
As he should have.
And you owe me a pizza for it. I'm fat.
He should
So
have.
did Kenny Pickett.
So did Kenny Pickett.
He's young, so the verdict's still out, and Jimmy Garoppolo still has the record.
Love Kenny
So
Pickett
is Jordan.
too.
Oh, it's just. Oh, I almost said it.
I'm not sold on Kenny Pickett I thought he was going to have a better year than he is now, but he still has his second year. I believe in the Steelers.
Candidate, you said.
I believe in the Steelers. I like their weapons. They haven't looked as good as I expected.
Do you guys think? I was thinking this morning, and I tried to do some research, and I just couldn't. I have to dive into it more. So like they can flex primetime games now,
Yeah.
but there's like a bunch of rules to it. Like when I looked it up, there's like pages of rules now that they have for it.
That's stupid.
So it's like week 13 through 18, you can flex Thursday games or games from Sunday to Thursday. Week like 5 and 6, you can flex into Monday. There's like all these rules.
It's stupid.
I think the Detroit Lions end up getting flexed maybe that Ravens game.
Yeah.
If there's a potential. I know it's only like week 7, maybe week 8.
And can they get flex if they've already if there's already a game time associated to it? Like
yeah, no, they
it's
can
not just
move.
the Broncos game that's TBD.
Yes,
they can move other ones. Okay.
Yes, because last year, remember the Packers game was they already knew that time originally. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Could be wrong, but there's rules. And if anyone in the chat knows if they can, I think is Ravens week 8 or week 7.
Ravens are week 7.
So week 7. So I don't know if you can. If there's I know there's rules they have to wait until a certain point of the season to flex. Hopefully week 7's like one of those first weeks because I do think. Shout out to Uncle Neil's soft feet. Bad take. Don't care. Brandon Cat.
So Booner, I think that the Lions should, without a doubt, beat the Panthers, Buccaneers, Raiders, and Bears. Do any of those 4 scare you, or is there a trap game involved there?
There's one trap game.
Who is it?
Tampa Bay.
We're on the same page tonight, baby.
I think everyone is. Lucas, Nick, you guys.
Yeah.
Tampa's the biggest trap game out of this whole schedule.
They're better than expected.
They are. And you're on the road. Tampa at points could be a tough place to play because it's hot there, or you could end up just going there and die.
They kind of ride or die on Baker, and if he has a good game, they're a much better team. But they do have a pretty good defense. They have a good offensive line, and I like Rashad White as a running back. So. They got weapons. Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. They could be sneaky, but you never know what you're going to get out of Baker.
Shout out my friend Tampa Bay's Buccaneers super fan Stephen Che. We'll get him on the show for that week.
Sweet.
Hey boys, on this thing, it's like the Ravens and the Chargers are kind of toss-ups to me, so I'm rocking 5-1.
Okay.
I think we lose one of those 2 games.
That's what I'm thinking.
Because you can't win them all, and at some point we will pick up losses unless this team is absolutely unbelievable, which we think they are, but. That's crazy talk to think they're going to go 6-0 in this stretch. But my question is to you guys.
Oh.
That Chargers game, do you guys think Kelly Stafford's going to be in attendance with Matt?
Depends where they play that week.
Interesting.
That's a good question. It depends just where they. Oh no.
I'm just messing.
Because when the Chargers are at home, the Rams are away. I believe.
I don't know. Maybe Margot Robbie and the other fake actresses that Sam Laporta is
Let me
dating.
tell you guys though real quick about the Detroit Lions pregame show here. which I am involved in, the Detroit Lions pregame show with the one, the only, the face of the network, Jeff Iafrady, hosted by Jeff Iafrady with some weekly special guests, which I am on that show every single week, home or away games now. And I'm just, my name, Booner's name is just not up there. Like no one ever says "and Booner," but that's okay.
You're weekly special guest, but
yeah,
weekly.
I'm 18 weeks of it. So
welcome to Woodward Nights with weekly special guest and Broder.
Yeah, that's me, Booner, weekly special guest. But it is Sundays, 9:30 to 11:30 a.m. Primetime games. It does change a little bit, but just if you guys want to tune in before the game, make sure you guys all do. We have a great time. Last week it was me, Jeff, Lucas was in the booth, and Gentry was there. And then when it's home games, we have different people. Lucas is doing Man on the Street down there, and we play that. It's a great time, actually. I love the pregame show.
It's awesome. Jeff is a great host. He had Neil on this week. He had Ryan Ermanni.
Neil on last week. He had me on this week. How do you mess that up?
I thought Neil Rule was his.
Broder, there was a game 2 days ago, or yesterday.
Yeah.
So there was a pregame show yesterday.
You see, everyone forgets about me, man. I just go up here and I just grind. I just work, man. It's all right.
At least you got your own show.
You're on the #1 show, right? Fair. All right, I love you, Lucas.
Glorious.
Except this morning because he slept in. Come on, get it together.
Fuck you.
I love you.
Let me tell you about
Kool-Aid on your
Dispo.
face.
Also, come back because we're going to do our NFL Pick'em here real quick. We're going to just keep talking. What? You got something to say?
I would say make sure if you guys want to call in 313-552-6322. It's in the chat.
Oh, yeah. But you can also experience Dispo Romeo, a team that curates. Ooh, this is a new one. This is nice. A team that curates an exclusive atmosphere mixed with fresh inventory from Michigan's largest variety of products. They are the first ever cannabis mall of its kind, and it's conveniently located off of Van Dyke and 32 Mile Road in Romeo. So Dispo Romeo is now open late night until midnight. So when you get done watching Woodward Nights till 10, head on over to Romeo, the Dispo Romeo. They're open till midnight every day except Sunday. Can it get any better than that? No, it can't. Dispo Dispensary, DispoShops.com, your local cannabis plug.
Your home is your most important asset. Flexibility in the sales process is key. When you work with Mark White & Associates, you can cancel at any time, for any reason, without penalty. Speaking of flexibility, check this out. Who you work with matters. Hire the best broker in the game.
Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions show. Let's go! Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy?
It's Planet Fitness.
Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime. Deal ends Wednesday, September 13th.
Join now at any Metro Detroit location. Hurry, offer ends soon.
How would you like to win a 100K Vegas getaway? Take your closest friends and live it up in the city that never sleeps? It's a Citron Energy. Drink it and live it. Purchase a 24-pack today and enter to win the 100K Vegas getaway at drinkcitron.com/Vegas and buy Citron at your local Meijer store. So again, that's Citron, the healthier energy drink with great taste and the choice of people who desire to look good, feel good, and be the best version of themselves. So go to drinkcitron.com/Vegas.
All right, welcome back to Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. My name is Booner, as always, and I do not lose. If you watch the stream, you know I don't lose. Joined by always with Matthew Broder, Detroit Lions beat reporter, Lucas in the TD booth, and Nick in the sound booth. And if you guys, real quick, if you guys are watching, make sure you guys hit that like button. Subscribe to the Woodward Sports YouTube if you haven't already, and tell a friend about Woodward Nights, please. Please and thank you. I did see a comment in here, though. Oh, my gosh, I forgot who it was already. Greg Rounds asked, Booner, did you have any bets? He's kind of looking at some stuff for this weekend. I actually, as surprising as it is, I didn't really look at, I haven't. Tonight when I get home, I probably will look more. And then when I wake up in the morning, I'll look at Saturday games and then Sundays. Typically, it's just such a weird week. We had 2 Lions games in 1 week. And then we've had the pregame shows, postgame shows. streams. I just have not. I've been working 24/7. I have not time to even look at bets. The only ones I did were the Lions ones last night. So I will put out on Twitter at Booner Sports. I will put that out. Probably picks around 11:30 tomorrow morning, and then Sunday probably around 12 o'clock. I'll throw out the bets for the game. Sunday.
You know, I'm the least veteran bettor on this crew, but I saw the message from Andrew Jones, and it seems like the clearest bet that could ever be out there.
It does, actually.
Under MSU versus Iowa, 36.5. Sounds like a no-brainer, Andrew Jones.
Iowa does have that. That guy has that clause in his contract to where he has to average
He also has Cade McNamara as a starting quarterback.
That's true.
So it's the two things do not align: scoring points in Iowa, having Cade McNamara as their tight end.
Booner is a veteran. I think that means veteran, but bet.
There you go,
that
buddy.
Is awesome. Thank you, Tyler.
Jack Arrington thinks you're wearing a bulletproof vest. I think that might be the hardest thing I've ever heard.
I love that.
Pause.
Free JMO. Shout out.
No, you're good.
Yeah,
you don't
that was
hear
close.
anything that's hard.
But let's
Fine.
do this then. As you guys know, if you guys haven't tuned in, if you're new to the show here, on Fridays we do a pick 'em around the NFL. We will get back into Detroit Lions in about 10 minutes, really quick.
Yeah.
But we're going to do our pick 'em just so we can keep our records going. I picked out a handful of games here. Now, the point with these games is it's just money line. It's just winner. So I go through and I find the closest spread games. I don't get to the 10-point ones, the 8-point ones, 7-point ones. I try and get the closest one, so it's basically a pick 'em. And we'll go around the room, and we'll do that pretty quick. Lucas will pick for Parker. Parker's usually here Fridays, but Lucas is in today. So, first game, the Atlanta Falcons at the Jacksonville Jaguars.
In London.
In London,
At
too.
9:30.
9:30?
Over the pond, AM.
Really?
Yep.
So everybody, set your fantasy lineups.
I love those
early.
games.
Set them the night before.
Yeah, I need to actually
I always
think
forget
that.
about this game.
Can you guys text me and remind me?
No.
Booner set them tonight.
Yeah, I might
Do you want me
have
to make your bed and pick out your clothes
I'm
too?
not-
Son, what did I tell you about cleaning your room?
Who are you picking?
I'm picking the Jaguars. I think they've looked so bad. Their offenses looked horrible the last 2 weeks. I think they have a revitalization, a rejuvenation out in London with Big Ben.
You're one of those Trevor Lawrence stands. Lucas, who do you have for Parker? Who are you picking for Parker?
Duval.
Duval?
Same thing. I think the Jaguars are bound for a bounce back, and it's not a home field. More talented team with more to prove.
Love it. Nick?
I'm going with the Jags, and I actually like them to cover. I think the Falcons are frauds.
You know what I'm going to do here, fellas?
He's going to go. I guarantee he's going Falcons.
I had in here, in
Guaranteed.
all caps on my notes, I had Jags. Whole room went Jags. I'm going Falcons.
Well, trust Desmond Ritter then.
All right.
Die in that boat.
Do you remember what the Lions just did to him?
I don't care.
Good Lord.
I'm fading the room.
Have mercy.
All right, next game, Dolphins at Bills. I'll go first on this one. Bills win that game. Trap game for the Dolphins. Dolphins, it's at home for Buffalo. Dolphins just put 70 points up. They're all on this high. Bills will stop it. They'll hit them in the mouth. They'll bring them back down to the level where they're actually at in the AFC.
Wow. I'm going to second that. Bills at home. I picked against them once, and they need to lose again for me to do that again. Bills for me, too.
I don't like how you're on the side with my Bills.
Yeah, well, obviously, I'm the ball knower for a reason. Did we not just watch Miami put up 70 last week?
And that's when...
And the Bills have been performing. They put up 31-3 against the Commanders 2 weeks ago.
Broncos defense, Bills defense.
I think the Broncos defense has been overrated the whole year, so people are like, oh, how did the Dolphins put up 70? Because that's the best offense in the league going up against a bottom-tier defense. Now you bring it back down to earth, they'll probably score 30 points. Buffalo, I'm going 35-30 Dolphins.
Close game.
I think Denver Blair says Von Miller's back. I didn't realize that.
Oh!
Let's go.
That's huge.
Nick.
Fins up. They get them in October, not January or December when the cold could affect them. So I'm going fins up. Dolphins stay rolling against the Bills here.
Booths picked the Fins. We picked the Bills.
I'm going to go here. Next game, Broncos -3.5 at the Bears, Chicago Bears. I'll start us off again. Chicago Bears are the worst team in the NFL.
Neither of these
Broncos
teams.
win this game. They even cover. I'll go to you next, Nick. Nick, what do you have?
Give me the Bears. Pick up the first win of the year. I absolutely think the Broncos are as trash, but the Bears are at home.
Hey, this is a family-friendly show, man. Come on.
Yeah, but ass trash, it's just, in London, it's a term for, never mind.
Ashtray?
Yeah.
Lucas, who do you have for Parker?
I'm definitely going with the Broncos here. The
Thank
Broncos,
you.
they're both bad teams, but there's just, when it comes down to it, I trust Sean Payton over Matt Eberflus, even though Sean Payton doesn't look like he knows what he's doing. He has at one point. Matt Eberflus never has. More talented team, better defense, better quarterback. I think it's Broncos easy.
This is literally the worst game of the entire season. I'm going to go Broncos. I'm going to say it just like that.
Broncos, all right. So Nick's the only one on the Bears. Ravens at the Browns. Browns are a 1-point favorite.
It's a good game.
Who you got, Broder?
I don't. Deshaun Watson might not be playing. The Browns have looked good. I think the Ravens are going to get another one. Ravens.
Lucas?
I'm going to go Ravens too. I think just Lamar, I think he had a great game, but they just got smacked in the mouth against the Colts. They respond.
Give me the Ravens.
All right. I'm going opposite. I'm going Browns. The only reason is the defense.
You just like to be different.
I am. Yeah, I am different. I'm going the Browns though. I mean, what are this defense is like one of the best defenses.
It's not a bad.
Like,
they're a 1-point favorite.
It's insane. Yeah,
and the defense is insane.
You're taking that defense and they're at home in Cleveland. I'm going Browns. Next game, Vikings Panthers. Vikings are a 4-point favorite here on the
Panthers.
But this is one of the battles. There's two games of battle of the 0-3s. This is the first one, or actually the second one, because Broncos Bears is the 0-3 battle.
This is a huge game for Adam Thielen.
Oh yeah.
Let
him cook. If you guys didn't know, I'm pretty sure Bryce Young is playing.
Is he?
I believe so. I think I saw that they said that he will be good. If anyone in the chat can confirm that as well.
I actually would probably pick him if Andy Dalton was the quarterback.
Andy Dalton sucks.
He's better than Bryce.
He's
Young
on my
as
do
of
not.
right now.
Andy Dalton is on my do not bet list.
That's fine.
He is.
You got a caller?
No, but I like the Vikings in this one, boys.
So Nick is going Vikings. Did you give yours or no?
Yes, sir. Vikings my way.
Go last, Lucas.
It's Vikings and who?
Exactly.
Okay, then the Panthers. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna go with the Vikings here. It's not even that close for me.
I'm also going with the Vikings. I wish I wasn't on that bandwagon, but I don't believe in the Panthers quite
So
yet.
all three of you guys are on the Vikings?
Oh, go Panthers.
I'm going to go the Vikings.
Okay, cool.
No, I'm going to go the Vikings. I can't trust the Panthers. When we play them, they're going to be 0-4.
0-4.
Next one here, boys. Bengals at Titans. Bengals are -2.5.
Oh.
We'll go through this one quick because we have to go to break in a second here. Broder?
This one's for Rich in Nashville.
Oh my God.
I'm going to go with the Bengals.
Okay, good.
I think Joe Burrow's back. There's something they're going to get back on track. I'm going Bengals.
Or Lucas?
Bengals. Fuck Ryan Tannehill.
Nick?
Bengals
all across the board. Last one, Raiders and Chargers in LA. Nick, who do you got?
Chargers.
He's gonna take his boy.
Lucas?
You know
it. I'm going Chargers.
All right.
I'm going with Jimmy Garoppolo.
I'm going the Chargers. I can't. Out of respect and out of my own principle in my own life, I'm betting against Jimmy Garoppolo every week because of you now.
All right, that's fine.
That's fair. Now let me tell you guys about Big Boy real quick.
Tell them.
Big Boy burgers and chicken sandwiches are taking over at Big Boy. It is burger time. Look at those. Oh, those look so good. Try our new cheeseburger or the new pretzel bacon cheeseburger. If you're craving chicken, try the Dolly chicken sandwich or turn up some heat with the Bob's Hot Chicken. Upgrade your regular fries with our chili cheese fries, loaded baked potato fries, all of that. And if you want to save some room for dessert, try this treat. Listen to this. The Reese's Chocolate Peanut Butter Thunder Cake or the Funnel Cake Fries. Those sound so good. I want some right now. That's over at Big Boy.
Since the dawn of moving people, Chevrolet has led the way. The world of transportation is changing. At Feldman Chevrolet, we are leading the charge forward. With every electric vehicle, every mile traveled, one Feldman at a time. The company that puts more Chevys on Michigan roads is now the #1 name for Chevy electric vehicles.
Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, two of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience from one of our talented stylists and register for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to win an all-expenses-paid suite for the 2024 NCAA tournament for you and 5 of your best buds. That's right, college basketball's most elite event. You and your 5 best friends just get to any Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut experience and automatically register to win the trip of your dreams. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
Play, practice, and party. I had a cough right when we entered. Play, practice, and party at 5 Iron Golf, downtown's newest sports bar. They've got 13 TrackMan simulators, certified instructors, and most importantly, a full bar and restaurant. Just mention promo code Woodward at checkout for 50% off your first visit. That's 5irongolf.com to tee up the good times. So whether you're a serious golfer like D-Mac or just there for a good time like Flannel Sam, 5 Iron is a spot for you. So go visit them to tee up the good times at 5irongolf.com.
Let's go! Welcome back to Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. My name is Booner, and I do not lose. I appreciate all of you guys for tuning in. Broder, look at that. There's Broder there with the stash, creepy stash. We got Lucas in the TD booth, as always.
Shut the front
Nick
door.
in the
As
sound
always,
booth.
I'll take that.
Appreciate you guys
Let's
all
go.
tuning in. Hit that like button. We got 17 minutes left. Let's get that baby to 200 if we can here. Please and thank you so much. Tell a friend about the show. We are here Mondays through Fridays, 8 to 10 every night. So if this is your first time watching, come tune in. Please tune in. We would love that. But now we're going to talk a little bit. We're going to get a little bit more Detroit Lions here. Shout out JMO, free JMO. We're going to talk a little bit about the Detroit Lions weapons right now, and specifically, and shout out to Lucas for this. He said it on the break that we should bring this up, is the Jahmyr Gibbs usage and Jahmyr Gibbs and kind of what he's kind of bringing to this offense, because there's like this two sides of the room in the NFL right now, or I guess you could say in the whole One Pride Nation, the fan base is the one side of, hey, we need to get the usage out of Jahmyr Gibbs. He's your 12th overall pick. And then there's the other side who, of the smarter people that I feel like at least, of the people who are like, hey, no, David Montgomery's a legit back who you need, and there's different ways to use backs, and Jahmyr Gibbs is going to get that usage eventually. He will. So, bro, I want to see where you're at on this, because right now, you guys already know what side I'm on, to where everyone needs to calm the F down and relax about this for a little bit. That's how I look at it.
I'm actually with you again, Booner. It's the night we're agreeing on everything. I think all this it's not hatred. It's everyone wants to see more Jahmyr Gibbs, and I do fully understand that. But the Lions are 3-1 right now, and they've conserved him a little bit. He actually has a similar amount of carries, amount of rushes as I think Alvin Kamara is like the second all-time. No, it was Christian McCaffrey at 31 rushes on the year. But Jahmyr Gibbs, the game yesterday was built for David Montgomery. I didn't think we were going to see him as much because of his thigh injury. But when you get a lead like that early in the game, when you need to run the clock down, when you need to control the time of possession, David Montgomery was invested in for that exact reason.
He was.
And he showed up at Lambeau against the Packers. They handed it off to him 32 times. When was the last time we've seen a Lions running back get it 32 times?
Not Jamal Williams.
Think about it like this: is like there's different styles of running backs, and I know Lucas is the ball knower, and I'm sure he can agree with me. But like there's these guys that go between the tackles. David Montgomery, who's going to get you 4 or 5 yards every time you hand him the ball.
Every time,
especially behind this offensive line. And then there's guys like Jahmyr Gibbs, who, to his point, and to be fair, he went behind the tackle and he went up the middle a couple times and got yards still. But there's a difference of the game where Jahmyr Gibbs is a playmaker. Yeah. He's a playmaker. That is completely different from that. Like Derrick Henry is a guy that he's gonna go bang for a little bit. Pause. Sorry about that.
Bang!
But then you look at a guy like a Saquon, and Saquon's a different player than Derrick Henry, right? Like there's different styles of running backs. And when you have two on a team, and you have two really good players like that on a team, one of them, like, you're going to have to go back and forth on that. And this kind of gives my point here. So far on the season, 39 carries, 179 yards. His longest run is 21. But listen, averaging right now 4.6 yards per carry. That's good.
Yeah.
And you could say, okay, well, he's doing that, so you want to give him the ball more. He's getting those in specific moments, and Ben Johnson is drawing him up the right plays. We all have to kind of take a step back here if you're going to complain about this and realize that you have the best offensive coordinator in the NFL. He knows what he's doing. If he's scheming up different things for David Montgomery and taking the clock or time off the clock, and he's winning football games with David Montgomery, he's going to find ways for Jahmyr Gibbs to get his. Yeah. And eventually, you know what's going to happen, people?
What?
This is a really long football season, 17 weeks, right?
Right.
So at some point, teams are going to eye in on David Montgomery, and there might be a couple games where they get stopped and things aren't going his way. And guess what? Right now, I bet you there's already a playbook in Ben Johnson's house right now where he has backup plans to kind of counter all of that. Yeah. And Jahmyr Gibbs will have big games off that. Am I wrong?
No,
am
not
I
at all.
crazy for thinking that?
I actually agree with you so much, Booner.
Thank
you. And
you.
I think it was you said earlier in the game, it was something about using Jahmyr Gibbs at the end of the game. Like if they needed him, they feed the rock to David Montgomery throughout the first 3 quarters of a game. And then they need that explosive weapon who's got fresh legs because he hasn't been running much during the game. They're going to find him, and they are going to start using him in more creative ways. I think we were just a little overexcited, especially with Ben Johnson saying in his press conference, we're going to use him in ways you've never seen. That just, it upped that anticipation. But I don't think everyone realized how good David Montgomery really is and how they can use him and how beneficial he is. In that 10-minute or 8 to 10-minute drive at the end of the game where Green Bay had just started to gain a little bit momentum, they just hand the ball off to David Montgomery and work it down the field.
I always mispronounce this person's name, Achor. Achor. Okay. Yeah, we might have to get the correction on that. But he said, at Booner.
Please trust me.
He said, it's very simple, Boone. It's not fantasy football. All these talks about the averages and reps, man, mean nothing. Dubs and losses are all that matter. That's exactly where I'm at with it. Is I don't care about the fantasy points of Jahmyr Gibbs. Jahmyr Gibbs doesn't care. Jahmyr Gibbs is probably as happy as could be right now. Yeah. He's learning so much, and he's still getting reps, and he doesn't care. He would rather be in this position with Jahmyr Gibbs or with David Montgomery and Jared Goff and Amon-Ra St. Brown than be in Atlanta right now.
Yeah, and if I'm a running back, with the contract situation going on, I know this is thinking way long term, but you want the least wear and tear on your body as possible. So if in the first 4, 5, 6 games of your career, they can just ease you into it, just take it and enjoy it.
I love this comment too.
Yeah, go ahead.
And you guys, we're about to go to break here real quick, and then we're going to get into mailbag. So once we go to break, start dropping your questions here. Where is this comment at? Oh, Uncle Neil's soft feet. What will SOL clowns do when J-Mo balls out? I cannot wait. There's going to be a couple games this year where I bet you if he stays healthy and everything that he'll have 100 yards and a touchdown, 100 plus yards and a touchdown. He'll have a huge breakaway play. They'll have nothing to say.
Yeah.
And you know what they'll end up doing too? This is the thing that's going to really make me mad. And Flannel, Lucas, you're on the show with Flannel. Flannel does this kind of a lot. Is when something like that happens, they'll find another angle to it, and they'll be like, "Oh, well, he's got this 100 yards games. Well, look at what if he would have been healthy last year and he wouldn't have got suspended, we could have had that much more." And it's like, come on, leave the man alone.
Yeah, he was coming back from a ACL injury, so they couldn't expect that last year. But on Gibbs' point of view, he hasn't had that one breakout play yet, or the explosiveness that we wanted to see, and he's still on pace for over 1,050 yards total. And that's what are people complaining about when we're winning? It's put the fantasy phone down, put the bets away, because I've caught myself getting a little mad about that too. It's all right, just don't bet if you're going to get mad about it. This team's winning games. Let's be hype about Jahmyr.
Dubs. Tell the people. Get your questions in mailbag.
About Lady Jane's. Come to Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience. Register to win a trip of your dreams and all expenses paid suite for the 2024 NCAA tournament. That is right. No expenses spared for you and 5 of your best buds. Even me. If you want to be my best bud, I'll go with you. Lady Jane's Haircut for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It is wicked awesome.
Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m.
Burgers and chicken sandwiches are taking over at Big Boy. Try our new pretzel bacon cheeseburger. Turn up the heat with Bob's hot chicken sandwich. Upgrade those regular fries with our chili cheese fries or loaded baked potato fries. Hit your sweet tooth with funnel cake fries or Reese's chocolate peanut butter thunder cake. Load up on all your favorites today at Big Boy.
Come hang with the Woodward Sports crew all throughout football season on Saturdays and Sundays. Join our college football and Detroit Lions live watch parties.
Inside the 5, caught, end zone, touchdown Detroit Lions!
With money on the line. Featuring different special guests and surprises. Start times will vary depending on the game. Only on our Woodward Sports YouTube channel.
Join Woodward Sports and Long Drink live next Sunday for the official Lions VIP tailgate party. It's at Eastern Market at shed number 5, and it is going to be a bash. It starts at 9:30 a.m. and goes until game time. So how would you like to pregame with Woodward Sports and be treated like a VIP? We got food, beverages, entertainment, all included. So go ahead and get your tickets at bullseyeeventgroup.com. Or you can win some with Woodward Sports today. Just subscribe to our YouTube, follow us on Instagram, and direct message us on Instagram. Say Lions VIP. Again, follow us on IG and direct message us Lions VIP on Instagram. Here we go, Bullseye, baby.
Man, oh man, Nick, and that's only his second mistake ever. But welcome back to Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. My name is Booner, as always, and joined by the one and only. My headset just went out as that drop happened, so I didn't hear it. But Broder here, Lucas Thoughts in the TD booth, and Nick in the sound booth. Make sure you guys hit that like button if you had it. Let's get to 150. Let's hit that 150 mark before we end here. We're getting into some mailbag, baby.
Please.
First question right here, real quick. Lorena. Does Booner have a shiner? I didn't even know what a shiner was. I'm good.
It means you have like a black eye.
Yeah, no, I'm good. I'm good. I did almost die drinking some Kool-Aid yesterday, but that's besides the point with that one. Broder, see any questions here that you like?
I do. Tyler Chauvet, mailbag. If Ben Johnson's the head coach, if he's a head coach candidate in the offseason, should Sheila and Brad Holmes offer him head coach money to stay as an OC?
Ooh.
That's a great question. I'm going to go with no.
It's a lot of money.
Of course, I want Ben Johnson to stay here for the rest of his career. I'm going to go with no because they're building up this culture in Detroit. It's also with the coaches, too. They have this support, whether it's Ben Johnson, Scotty Montgomery, Tanner Engstrom coming up the ranks. They have this culture of supporting their coaches, going and getting their dream job, making forward moves in their career. So Ben Johnson, he's one of them. We want Detroit Lions coordinators to be head coaches in the league. That just says we're doing something right.
I have faith in Dan Campbell to get another guy like Ben Johnson. Obviously, you're not going to probably right away get best offensive coordinator in the NFL, but I do feel like you said, the culture, everything with it.
They're grooming Tanner Engstrom. They're finding inside the building. They're finding coaches that are ready to take that next stop. So I got another one from Jack Harrington for you, the Booner Sports Show. Mailbag. Thoughts on this LSU by 3 versus Ole Miss tomorrow?
No. Ole Miss is at home. I do like this Ole Miss team. I know they lost to Bama. I'm not a fan of LSU. I haven't been since week 1, since they've lost. So I'm going to go Ole Miss with that one. If you're getting 3 points as a home dog in college football, especially an LSU type team, Jackson Dart's pretty good. Like I'm going Ole Miss tomorrow.
Oh yeah.
I can't trust LSU, man. I'm so far off them.
Ole Miss, that's alumni the left tackle from the blind side. Michael Orr.
Yes, there was an alert about that today that came through on my phone.
Wow.
See, next question. If AG... Oh, here's one.
It's a good one from nobody.
If AG ends up leaving and Saleh gets fired in New York, should the Lions call and get him for a defense?
Yes.
Yes. If AG gets a head coach job and the Jets fire Robert Saleh, 100% you go after him. And I bet you he comes to Detroit too.
Back home, Dearborn, baby.
He's a
from
culture
Dearborn.
guy. Yeah, and he is. And he's a culture guy too. He's high on culture. You saw him in Hard Knocks.
Yeah. IT Hips, mailbag. Do you believe Jamo will see a lot of reps against the Panthers?
I do. I've been saying this for a while because this is week 4 right now. I bet the last 3 weeks with DMAC, I've bet Jamo. Wait, Jamo or Jameer?
Jameson Williams.
Oh, I was thinking Jameer.
No, Jamo. He's free.
No, I don't think he'll get a ton.
I think he will.
I think he'll get some snaps. He might get a couple catches. I don't think it's going to be like his breakout.
He was going to get a lot of usage in that third preseason game before he went on his suspension, but he hurt his
been gone
his
for
hamstring.
4 weeks though.
But that's
and
they're just. The fact that they get 2 games, it might not be as much as the Buccaneers, but I think they're gonna try to speed up this process.
I don't know.
I don't see it
because
coming out.
Dude, you lost to the Panthers by last year? 20 points, and you got absolutely dominated by them. In the NFL, you have to. You can't. It's not like college football where if a guy's coming back or hurt, and you're playing against a worse team, you can just take a night off and say, hey, let's just go with this guy. You have to go. Now maybe if they'll find ways to put him in, and I do still think he plays. But I don't think he gets a full.
I guess it depends on what kind of shape he's been keeping himself in, how healthy he is. True. They say he's good.
With the injury, though, it's still.
Yeah.
There was one here, too. William here. I didn't read this one yet. So this. Hey, Booner and Broder, do you guys think that was the best Lions performance at Green Bay and Lambeau Field? Yeah.
It's as good as I can remember.
It was this and that last primetime game where they beat Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, yeah. How about this? Kalamazoo mailbag. It's not Lions related, but Broder has experienced pitching. So what are the odds Casey Mize comes back and becomes great? I think they're pretty high. I at least think he's going to come back and he's going to be a good pitcher. At the worst, a number 3 in a rotation. I'm glad he sat out this entire year. Let him come back and be healthy next year. We need someone like that, whether it's for the Tigers or for trade bait. So I think so, Kalamazoo.
Greg Rounds, mailbag. USC Colorado games will be closer than we think because USC can't play defense. I agree with that.
Yeah, that's a good take.
It's 21. I don't think, especially coming off that Oregon loss, you would think they would have a little bit of chip on their shoulder at home. I might take the points for Colorado tomorrow.
How about another one from Jack Harrington? We maybe got 1 or 2 left. Mailbag. Thoughts on the lock of the week? Georgia blows out Auburn tomorrow by 14.
Whoo! I wouldn't be surprised.
They have it. They have it in them. That's what she said.
Yeah, that needs to be a sound clip, please. Oh my gosh.
What?
Yeah, no, I do think Georgia does get it done. Georgia's still the number 1 team in the country to me. And if you guys are tuning in right now, I did last week. A couple days ago, I took Michigan out of my top 4. Out of pure respect.
I took you out of my friendship circle.
I'm trying to motivate the boys, man.
Yeah.
I saw another one. I just missed it. Greg Rounds, does Sam Flannel pee sitting down? Lucas, you're on a show with him. What is it? You answer that one.
What the fuck?
Flannel's one of
I feel like he pees like laying down.
Have you ever seen a thing like Morning Wood when you like lay across the people who like lay across the toilet, like plank across the toilet? Imagine if Flannel just did that every single time he peed.
Hey, boys, damn. Boys, real quick, I got one for you guys. We haven't really touched on either of them. Michigan at Nebraska, first road game out of the big house, and then State traveling to Iowa. Last thoughts on the game before they go down tomorrow.
The Bussin' Bowl.
It is.
Taylor Wana and Will Compton.
Nebraska keeps it close. 2-possession game. It's like a 14-point game, 10-point game.
I think Michigan has been just waiting for the Big Ten season to start.
Dude, I would love for them to change my mind. I would love for them to just be like, let's go out there and win by 30. Haven't done it yet.
This is the time.
Show us. Show me. All right, fellas. We appreciate you guys all tuning in. That would be it for us. We hope you guys enjoy your weekend. We'll be back Monday, 8 to 10 p.m. If you guys haven't yet, hit that like button before you head out. Appreciate you guys all. Tell a friend about the show here. We want everyone to be here starting next week, 8 to 10 every single night. Make sure you guys tune back in. But for myself and Broder, we'll see you guys later. We love you.
Toodle.